Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise as always to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He worthy to be praised for everything I say. All praise to the most high. But some myself side. I'm dealing with Christmas in a way that you never experienced it before. Since this is so-called Christmas Eve, I thought I'd go over some scriptures pertaining to, you know, the origin and just looking at, Christmas for what it is. As we can look at it, as far as people are celebrating and should be celebrating. We just finished celebrating Feast of Dedication, Feast of Lights, what they call Hanukkah. It was 8 days of celebration. Here we are, our people are celebrating one day, not really knowing what they're celebrating because it's not a Mashiach Yosef's birthday at all. It's not his birthday. That's clear. And all this can be proven in the scriptures and through, you know, time we'll see that it's a pagan day. They took the influence of the pagans that were dealing with following, you know, the winter solstice and bringing that in from the 21st of the 12th month to the 6th of the first month of the year. All these things are pagan rituals that were going on, and they were adapted into what I call it Christian insanity, because they took the same ideas and customs of the heathen and the ones that didn't not have the relationship with the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they intertwined it into what they call Christian insanity, what you might call something else today. But when you look at it, the end result is you're gonna be crispy, and you're gonna be told that you've been insane. So you have rolled with insanity, one way or another, however you look at it. So that's why it's very important that we look at the truth, which is the laws and the commandments of the Most High, to be able to elevate you higher than what it is that's presented to you. And you just being a go for this and go for that. They say this, they say that, and you believe this and believe that, and you go online, and then next thing you know, you bring it for the understanding of someone that's never gonna know the way of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua and don't even realize it. That's why it's very important to know the Bible, what the Bible says, and anything outside of that, you compare it with what the Bible says. But if you don't know what the Bible says, and you're looking at Wikipedia and you know Google search and this, that, and the third, whatever on the internet, you letting that be your means of the truth, then and you can't compare that to the Bible, you got to consider that, because there's only a few things that we can look at that's been tampered with, but the majority of what we're reading is the truth, from the Most High. So it's always Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shabbat Mashiach Yahushua. Give you thanks to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. We thank you, Most High, by Shabbat Mashiach Yahushua. That's how we thank the Most High, because Mashiach Yahushua said, without a New Testament being written, no man come to the Father but by him. So that's what he said. You ask anything in my name, I would do it, that the Father can be glorified in the Son. You ask anything in my name, I would do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. In other words, do what I say do, that the Father can be glorified in the Son. But nobody consider that, because this world, you can say whatever you want to say, but this world is set up on pride. It's set up on self, you know. And he's looking at us doing what he say do, so he can be glorified. The Most High can be glorified in him. But nobody's seen that ever. But it's real, y'all. So it's very important that we look at this. Look at Isaiah 8:20 from my dialogue I just ran by you. Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, according to the Bible, it is because there is no light in them. And we know that light is what? Proverbs 6:23. There's no light in them. Proverbs 6:23 defines But this light that you're supposed to have in you that most people don't have, if they're dealing with any type of religion, you'll see that they don't have that light. Say for the commandment is a lamp. This is Proverbs 6:23, defining that light. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. You see? So the law that the Most High wrote with his finger, that's the light. So it says, to the law and to the testimony that they speak not according to this word, according to this Bible. That's why I said it's very important to look at and compare anything outside of the Bible to the Bible. But you got to know it. You know, that's why you got to study, show yourself approved to the Most High, rightly dividing the word of truth, man. You got to know this Bible. So when you go to things that's outside of the Bible, you can compare it to what you have learned from learning the Bible. Yeah, I appreciate my teachers, man, for telling me that, you know, and teaching me that. And it really helped because when I look at it, you know, people go to these different books, these historians and this, that, and third, whatever, it's got to coincide. It got to precept with the Bible. And if it don't, then you can't really use that, man. How you going to use it and, you know, precept with the Most High? Make that make sense? That's why you got to look at Christmas for what it is, man. It is dealing with, you know, paganism. You won't find nowhere or find Christmas where the Most High said celebrate Christmas. Or we celebrated as Israelites Christmas in the Bible. You won't find it. You'll find that Most High is against it. That's what we're going to look at. So I want to look at, you know, because like you look at the different celebrations they have, like it all comes from like the winter solstice, coming in on 12/21 to 1/6. It's a lot of things that goes on in these different, I'll call them holidays, because the average person don't realize that you're doing a ritual for those that are doing even they call it humanized sacrifices. You know, that happens so many weeks during the year, 13 precisely. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know anything about this. You don't know about the other side. You don't know what they're doing. So therefore, you just going by whatever it is, do this. Everybody doing it. You see everybody doing it. But like I say, a bunch of robots and robotees, you just following it. But you know, you had like, when you look at the 25th day of this month, tomorrow, prove that Amashak Shai was born on the 25th of the 12th month of Esau's calendar. Nobody can. But in any way, if he was born then, what are you get presents on? What present you getting for him? How do we fit into tomorrow where, show me where everybody's celebrating the birth of a Mashiach Yahushua? I know I didn't grow up, when I did, when my parents did Christmas, it wasn't no birth of a Mashiach Yahushua. It was about Christmas. Oh, we're going to get presents. What about you? I mean, something, you're going to get something. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like where it is. Show me where they're celebrating the birth of a Mashiach Yahushua. Okay, sing a happy birthday to Jesus. Where that's at? Huh? Talk to me. Y'all what y'all do for yourself. You elevate yourself like that when you have your birthday coming around. So why we ain't celebrate no birthday? Oh, well, my shot was shouting. My most side fit into that. You know what I mean? When they sing, they're singing that. Post that on social media tomorrow. Everybody coming together saying, happy birthday, Jesus. Huh? Come on. That's real. That's the way it is, you know. The mistletoe. All these things are pagan. It come from a man named, I'm just going to spell it, Mithra, because it became an idol. So, and people are still operating under this idol. So, like Mosai said, be circumspect and don't let the name of other gods come out of thy mouth, you know. So I'm just spelling it, you know. And I ask Mosai to forgive me if I'm wrong and even spelling it. But at the same time, you know, you get going on a mistletoe and you kissing someone, man. Man, there was debauchery. It was like Christmas was the time to get drunk and people was just acting foolish, man, during this time. All kind of pagan type of custom, like even to the point where the master would say, the slave um, owner would serve the slaves on that day, just flip it around. You know what I mean? Like all kind of different, you know, uh, really is Saul Victor's birthday, the the birth of the sun. When the sun, you know, because it's dark mostly in this period of time. So and this is all pagan now. The sun will be getting exaltation. That's why they changed it from the actual sun and Saturnalia to and Saul Victus to the son of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushai, and brought him in to be involved with this pagan custom that they were doing already long before Mashiach Yahushai came on the earth. This going all the way back to Nimrod. Y'all know that? It's go all the way back to Nimrod, to Genesis. It's not nothing new. It's just they just changed the names of the characters or whoever the person or the god, the deity, the idol, whatever. They just change the names and y'all just go for it. A bunch of gophers. You know, you don't do no research. You know what I mean? And my problem with our people is they don't want to change. They won't be born again. They want to remain the same, and nobody want to change. Enough of people, I say. But you know, it's okay because most of not dealing with quantity. He dealing with quality. He could care less. He said he told John he raised up some stones to be his people. So talk to me. Tell me he can't. He can do whatever he want to do. His ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. But the little that I know that we have to tap into him and what it is that we're doing against him, even with this pagan day Christmas. I mean, it has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him, Mashiach Yahushua. He never told you to celebrate his birthday. That ain't his birthday anyway. You know, you celebrating a pagan day, and you celebrating a pagan's birthday. It has nothing to do with a Mashiach Yahushua. Show me where he celebrated his birthday one time, anytime. You go from Genesis all the way to Revelation 22 and verse 21. Show me where he ever showed that he celebrated his birthday. Anybody that's an Israelite. Now the pagans did, you know. There's like three birthdays maybe. I think Pharaoh, when he had, you know, the butler killed, so forth, celebrated his birthday. John the Baptist was beheaded. Because the wicked king's daughter's mother said, asked for the head of John the Baptist because he said that he shouldn't be married to his brother's wife. So she said, ask for the head of John the Baptist. That was his birthday. And when we had to bring ivory and all that in the Greek Empire, celebrating birthday of Bacchus. Every month. Show me where there's another birthday. You can't show me where we celebrated birthdays anytime. And he definitely didn't say celebrate his birthday. He said celebrate the resurrection of him dying for the 12 tribes of Israel. For us, we the children of Israel. I gotta put on my other social media platform. Bear with me for a second. He never celebrated his birthday because his birthday is around the time of Passover. That's when he was born, around the Passover time, between the third month of Esau and the fourth month. Because, you know, it varies. It's not every year, you know, in the third month, every year in the fourth month. Generally, it's either the third month or the fourth month. So let's look at Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. These are customs that they combine with the ones that were, you know, so-called supposed to be following the Mashiach the other side, but they weren't. We honored the Feast of Dedication. 8 days. 8 days we had a good time, Not just no one day. Jeremiah 44 said, the word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwelt in the land of Egypt, which dwelt at Migal, and at Taphres and Nath, and in the country of Patmos, saying, thus said the Most High Power of hosts, the power of Israel. You see that? So over and over again, you see the Most High say he identified himself as the power of Israel. I don't like to use that word God because God is dog spelled backwards, and it's a European dramatic word that they created around the 6th century AD. So we're gonna say the power, okay? They put it in there because they're the ones that publish the Bibles. It's real simple. That's why you gotta take the simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua and look at these things. So, and some of you probably, can't handle it because you programmed. Your brain has been polluted. So a few things that, I see right now that the Most High is really pushing in my spirit to push, and that's, not saying Amen, not saying Lord, because it represents a Greek so-called idol or God. But see, we don't know that because we don't do enough research. And if we do the research, you're hearing it, and I'm continually saying it, but you ain't proving me wrong. You ain't proving it wrong. I'm showing you in all the Bible dictionaries, I'm showing you how Zeus is Amen. You see? That's why I'm going to say, instead of saying God, I say the power. So I say the Most High power of hosts. That's power of army of angels. The power of Israel. You only the power of the Israelites. You won't see the Most High say, show me where it says God of Ishmael in the Bible. He's the God of Esau. This is real simple. Because Christian sanity got y'all all twisted, man. You got even the Israelites. I mean, however you look at it, some kind of way, the spell that's on this earth has brothers and sisters caught up in you at a stalemate. You still, the spirit cannot penetrate from what it is that, like a lot of y'all learn what we learned all together in ISUPK. Earlier. Then when you left, you kept whatever was that was taught, but it changed. It was any mistake that was made, you would know it because all y'all left. So it's very important that we be willing to change. I'm willing to change. That's why I say, if you can prove to me that, these things are okay, I'll teach it. I'll change. I'll say I was wrong. I have no problem saying I'm wrong. I'm humble like that. Look, I was wrong. I know I've seen brothers make mistakes, like even with the 2000 breakdown, this and the third. I never believed in that because it says only the Most High know. Ain't no man know. Who gonna predict that? It was predicted so many times, even before I knew about these scriptures. It was predicted so many times that and it didn't happen. You know why? Because even on my Shack said he don't know. He said that in Matthew 24:36 and Acts 1:7. I mean, he don't even know. Only the Most High know. And when you understand the Most High only know, then you operate like that, right? I mean, it's simple. Thus say the Most High power of hosts. I digress. The power of Israel. You have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein. You hear that? So we in captivity under the Babylonians, the Cushites, the Chaldees, the Ethiopians under Nebuchadnezzar came until us in captivity. We was in captivity as an Israelite for 70 years. The Bible is a history book. If you don't know history, you don't know our story to be able to compare to his story to see what's really real, then how are you gonna really know what's right from wrong? So it said he made that place a desolation. I've been there, I looked at it, and it was like, these are the things that I thought about when I looking up. It's like, wow. Nothing, not even weeds growing on that ground. It's like just desolation, just beautiful land. And he's gonna bring it about. So it's gonna be beautiful than more beautiful than the Garden of Eden, it says. For those that's going to make it. Because of their wickedness, you hear that? And because of our righteousness, because of our wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not. Neither they, nor your fathers. Like these religions. Every religion is a new power. Say whatever. Because somebody got power over the people that's following whatever it is they following and telling them what they need to do. And you tell me they're not. If they're Jehovah's Witness, they got their decree. Seventh-day Adventists got their decree. Church of Christ got their decree that they believe in. This their covenant. This is our contract. This is what we believe in. All of them, they have the same thing. Every religion had the same thing. So that's why the Most High was angry with us. And we served other idols, whom they knew not. We even know them. Like it is. Something new come up, we involved in it. Somewhere or another, we involved in it. Howbeit I send unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Hear what he said? Howbeit I send unto you all my servants, the prophets. Like we're bringing forth the truth in these last days, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, they ain't listen, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. And that's really serious, because this is what we have done, man. We burn incense to other gods. And now here we are in these last days trying to justify ourselves and just mainly talking about people. Ain't nobody talking about the Most High. Knowing him. Who's going to deliver us? Who the only one that know? When you tell him, you're going to tell him out your side to rise and go and judge and make war. But he's not talked about. The conversation mainly with people. They burn incense to other gods, meaning we dealing with different things that's contrary to what we need to do to make it. That's for everybody. Because we're going to have people that they talk about salvation. People going to be in the kingdom. Somebody got to, bring forth the forces of the Gentiles. You're going to need the Gentiles. Just like you are, let me make it clear. It's just a change of the guard, change of position from wicked and evil and criminals and whatever you can think of that's so demeaning to the righteousness of the Most High, to righteousness. A beautiful kingdom where it's going to be righteous. So it's going to be right and not wicked and evil. But if you like this wicked and evil, you're going to burn with this wicked and evil. That's why I call y'all crisps. Insanity. Because you're going to burn with the evil because you ain't thinking about keeping the Most High's commandments. That's why he angry. You see, so you think the Most High happy with everybody now? Y'all call them, don't even talk about them. Y'all just talk about people. That's what y'all talk about, maybe it's people. They talk about him. But look, he said, I sent my prophet. He said, I sent my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Like I'm telling you, you think the Most High love you and all these different religions? He love you for calling him B-A-A-L? Talk to me. Because that means L-O-R-D. He loved you for that, and you heard it, and you still being rebellious like we were here? You think he ain't angry? You don't think you love him, but yet still, anyway, at least with me, I look at any way I can not offend him since we offended him. I'm trying not to. Now, you can do it however you want to, but we can go to the throne of the Most High and you tell him, hey, I can call you whatever I want to call you. I can call you whatever they put in the Bible, whatever the one that publishes Bible, I can do it. Y'all better really think. But they hearken not. Verse 5. Nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness to burn no incense unto other gods. Come on, that's another God. That's an idol. Lord, Baal, Amen. It's the idols. Right now I'm talking about. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth. It was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. That's where we at. But right now too. And they are wasted and desolate as at this day. And that's real. I seen it, y'all. It was unbelievable. You can't hardly go find. You can't drive nowhere in America look like the land of Israel, the land of Judah and the northern kingdom. Even its deserts don't look like that. What he said he's gonna do and what he did to that land is real. It's real as real could be, y'all. Therefore, now, thus say the Most High Power, the power of hosts, power of army of angels, the power of Israel again, not the power of no other nation. Wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. Hear that? So how is it that these nations, these Gentile nations that don't keep the commandments of the Most High, going into and always buck up against how Mashiach looks? It don't matter how he looked. They ain't got to keep no commandments. All they got to do is call on the name of their God, Jesus, Caesar Borgia, second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, Rodrigo Borgia. Because when you look, the ones that saying it don't matter, when you look at the picture of what they present for themselves, it's a so-called white man representing the Mashiach Yahushua. And he was not a so-called white man, straight up. But this is what they're presenting. And regardless of how it sounds, this is who their Jesus is. But there is not a Mashiach Yahushua for sure. So it says, I mean, I'm just going from here, from our time being the Babylonian Empire and being in captivity to us being where we scattered at, especially here in America, and how we have to, why we dealing, and how we dealing with our mindset. Therefore, verse 7, therefore now, thus said the Most High, power of hosts, power of Israel, again. Wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, and that you provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt. And this spiritual Egypt, America is spiritual Egypt. Understand this. Same thing going on right now. And they're getting ready to celebrate Christmas. That's another God. It didn't come from a Mashiach Yahushua. So it's another God. The gods that you operating under. You know, Saul Victus. I mean, that's who birthday it is. Going all the way back to Nimrod. And that you provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither you be gone to dwell, that you might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach, a disgrace among all the nations of the earth. I mean, you said, this is what you want? This is what we wanted? We knew this. We can go through the curses and see that he already said he's going to do this. Everything he said he's going to do, it was prophesied he's going to do it, and he did it. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers and the wickedness of the kings of Judah and the wickedness of their wives? Understand this. We can look at this, man. Christmas ain't just start. They just named it Christmas. It was these pagan days, like worshiping the sun. They just changed it from worshiping the sun that you see in the sky to worshiping the Son of the Most High. They just changed it over so the Christian would follow suit with the pagan rituals that they were doing. I mean, it's real easy to see if you're in the spirit. It says, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah and the wickedness of their wives and your own wickedness and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. Listen, they are not humbled even unto this day. Neither have they feared. If they're not humble, it means they prideful. I'm more prideful. And a lot of y'all still prideful. When you gotta check yourself, you'll be better look at being most I want a broken and contrite spirit of humility. A lot of y'all don't have that. Neither have they feared. You don't fear the most high. Or y'all use, like I say, people is always their scapegoat to be able to have you come with your emotions and your feelings and all this stuff that has nothing to do with how you should be and operating as an Israelite or as anyone and dealing with how you should be according to the Most High's will. Point blank. You read this, say, oh, this is how the Most High wants us to be, and you be that way, you're all right. Simple as that. What it say? They are not humble. If you ain't humble, that means you're prideful. Even to this day. He said even to this day, even to this day. That's what that means. He know what he's doing. Neither have they feared. They ain't fear the Most High. Most people don't even talk about the Most High. Ain't even their conversation. Like I say, all y'all talk about is people. Me, they do that. Them over there, or them, somebody, them people over there, them people over there, them people over there, that nation, that nation. You know, that's all you talk about. Like he's saying. They are not humble, even to this day, neither have they feared. Don't fear the Most High, nor walked in my law. You hear that? Nor walked in my law. You know, religion said we ain't under the law. Or, I've been asking for a long time. Show me a religion that's keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and learned other sacrificial laws. I'll wait. But I ain't hold my breath because I know I'll be out of here. But show me a religion that's doing that. They're not walking in the law. They say we're not under the law. Nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. Many tell them we the Israelites. Therefore, thus say the most high power of hosts, the power of Israel. You see how this being continually brought to our mind? He's the power of army of angels. And the angels on this earth, y'all, waiting on the commandment of the Most High to do things, you know? Certain things going to be happening in these last days, phenomenal, because Most High made things to a Mashiach that was side visible and invisible. And you're going to see a lot of things happen in life that is phenomenal, and you can't be afraid. That's why the scriptures is very good to know, you know, because you got the power. You are the sons and the daughters of the Most High. If you roll with the power, if not, then hey, you can let them have you hurt yourself if you want to. You've heard it. There are things on the right side, there are things that were made on the left side that do different things. And when they do different things, you can't flip out. You're supposed to know. There's the invisible. There is the invisible. That means you can't see it. Keep that in mind. People are gonna be dying behind things that's gonna be happening, phenomenal things that's written in the Bible. Like he did in Egypt, the 10 plagues he put on the Egyptians. Oh yeah, he gonna get a name. You gotta understand that's nothing compared to what the Most High say. He gonna get him a name that everybody gonna fear him. Everybody gonna know him from the least to the greatest. It says. Better hear it. See, we ain't walking in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. Therefore, thus say the Most High power of hosts, power of army of angels, power of Israel. Behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah, and will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt, to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt, that shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine, food shortages, killing them with the sword. They shall die from the least even to the greatest. So you can tell me that the Most High, he's long suffering, but it's getting closer and closer to the time that that long suffering and the mercy and the grace is being lifted up. I see it because we didn't never have as many Israelites that died, you know, from the time I've been in this. And I've been in this, I've never been out of it. So I know pretty much looking at this, how a lot of us just leaving up out of here now. And you're going to know that he is the Most High. Believe this, everybody. You see what he's saying? So how is it that you following something that's totally against the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua in this Christmas, that you justify yourself and doing it when it's against what he would have us to do? And you should have already just celebrated 8 days. I mean, 8 days, you should be exhausted celebrating 8 days. For 8 days? Come on, having a good time for 8 days, not no one day. But here it is. This is what people are doing. They following the way of the heathen. You're going to see he told us not to do that. He said, they shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die, from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. And they shall be an execration, an astonishment, and a curse and a reproach, y'all. Come on. What you think? He's just gonna just allow us to do what we want to do when he said, hey, they walk not in this law? You think that's not important? That's why I pushed that up so hard, because I'm showing you what happens for not doing what he say do. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, and this is spiritual Egypt right here, America, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, diseases and so forth. You got diseases you can't even get rid of. So that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as shall escape. He said, he'll kill everybody, but those that escape, right? He said, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, other idols. These are Israelite women, mind you. And all the women that stood by, a great multitude of women that burned incense into other idols, and not to the Most High power of Israel. You see, he kept saying the power of hosts, power of army of angels, that's going to tear your butt up. And he kept saying the power of Israel. That's who he is, the power of Israel, not to any other nation. Even all the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, in Patros, answered Jeremiah, saying, look what they said. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Most High, we will not hearken unto thee. And let me say that. When the Mashiach said in St. John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I don't know where to show you how to follow the laws, the commandments of the Most High that's going to lead to everlasting life. He said, no man cometh to the Father but by me. So he's saying that. And when you see that all the time in the New Testament says, as it is written, all they had was the law and the prophets. So you understand, if you can just think just a little, that there is no New Testament when he's saying it. There's only the law and the prophets. That's it. So if you understand that, you understand he's giving you directions of how they were rolling in the first place, man. In the garden, both sides you can deal with me and my son, the tree of life. No dealing with what he's saying right there. I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, because he was an example of how we can follow the laws that will lead to everlasting life. I mean, it's simple to me. I don't know. It's just we've been brain polluted. And the people that taught you polluted your mind, that you can't really see beyond them two walls that's on your brain, that you can't go outside of that spectrum to change, man. You gotta be willing to change and look at what it is that's going to lead us to the kingdom. And that's the Most High, point blank. Point first and foremost, the Most High. And you ain't talking about him. Or prove me wrong. I don't see it. I see y'all talking about people. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Most High, we will not hearken unto thee. This is the women saying this. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. You hear that? To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. And that's what you see is happening right now during this time period, They burn the incense to the queen of heaven, going all the way back to Nimrod's mother slash wife, Semiramis, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. What come out? What come out during this time? Eggnog. Drink. It don't come out till this time. Drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. The same thing we said in the Greek Empire. The same thing, exact same thing. Something, man. When you look at, we just repeating ourselves over and over and over again, doing the same thing. Here we go again. In the Greek Empire, said the same thing, and this is in between. This is in between the book of Maccabees, which is in the Persian and Mede Empire, and we're in captivity, and the Roman Empire. When you look at Matthew, we're in the Roman Empire, so the Greek Empire has been taken out. So when you look at First Maccabees 1:1, it talks about Alexander the Greek coming into power, the first king over the Greeks empire. So I'm gonna get right to the point in verse 11. After Antiochus, this wicked Antiochus Epiphanes, who was a Greek in the Seleucid dynasty, that's where he came out of. It tells you in verse 11, in those days went there out evil, wicked men. They went out of Israel, wicked men. And when they came in, when the Greeks came into power, I tell you, evil was multiplied in verse 9. So it says, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant, contract, agreement with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. You see, it's the same thing that we said in the Babylonian kingdom. We're the same people. Just certain things are happening over and over again. You see, once you know these precepts and understand how we were operating and how the Most High felt about us operating the way we operated, and you see it's the same. It's pretty much the same. Look here, it says, I'll start at verse 16. It says, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us, in the name of the Most High, by Shalom Mashiach, we would not hearken unto thee. We listen to you, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. See, this going all the way back to Genesis 11 chapter, Nimrod. Understand this. This ain't nothing new. Christmas ain't nothing new. They just changed the name to that. But if you understand that it's still dealing with the old pagan traditions, and you compromise in any way, shape, or form, that can be wrote in the books against you. I don't give a dang how much you think you spiritual. Ain't no compromise with the Most High. You hear what he's saying? He's angry, his fury, consumption. He a consuming fire. Look what he said. But this is what we told him. But we was, and that's the whole thing I look at. Keep this in mind too. Who is Jeremiah coming with? He coming with the word of the Most High, and they telling they killed the prophets, tore them up, and all of that. When they came with the word of the Most High, that's really what they want to do to the Most High, and that's what y'all probably want to do to the Most High. You just need men to be able to deal with putting your frustration out against him on the man. That's what we did. You see it. He said, I don't care. What they say, I don't care about you coming in the name of the Most High. He said, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. But then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. See that? In other words, we ain't gonna follow you, Most High. The Queen of Heaven, going all the way back to Semiramis, is better than following you in his face. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. Yeah, because you were wicked. You went against the Most High and following the Queen of Heaven. Now, all of a sudden, you want to be blessed. You want things to be beautiful. That's what I was going. You got to look at. A lot of people go through a lot of things, but they go through because of the fact of they really not really dealing with the Most High and these scriptures. and the laws, statutes, commandments, he say, well, we have to follow and keeping up with him and not the world. You the enemy. You at war with the Most High when you compromise with somebody in the world because they dealing with whatever they dealing with. You got to deal with what the truth is. And you'll be surprised how many people will really accept you more dealing with the truth and dealing with what they're at and dealing with paganism. Come on. You're going to get beat with more stripes. I tell you that. You get Most High say we love, he chastened, you're going to get chastened. Trust me. Ain't no compromise. Show me the compromise with the Most High, if thou will. Ain't no compromise with him, man. He telling you straight up, listen, pay attention. They talk about we're going to pour out drink offerings in the her, Queen of Heaven, as we have done. We and our fathers, our kings, our princes, in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, for then have we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And that's how people are. Come on. And that's how it's going to be for y'all that's not really tapping into the Most High. When he bring that deep plague of Jacob's trouble and you done compromise with these heathens, people, I don't give a damn if they family, I don't care if they friends, associates, whoever. You supposed to be the light of the world, bringing forth the truth, speaking the truth. You never know, because I know in my experiences, they always have questions because they never heard what you know, especially being in the truth. They don't know what this Bible talking about. What person you know that's in a religion that know anything about the laws? Talk to me. That know the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. They don't know this Bible. And the things that you can really look at in strategy, Most High he's a man of war. And in war, you have strategies, strategies, how you're going to win the war. It's a warfare. We fighting a spiritual warfare against demons in high places, and you fighting demons in people. But you don't see that because you can't compromise with this, man. You got to look at, there's someone out there that's going to hear the truth rather than being wherever they at. I don't know. I'm not going backwards. They ain't gonna be written in my books. I went backwards. I don't care. Or prove me wrong. Paul became all things to all men, but he didn't go beyond the truth. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. Verse 19, and when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her? Is they making cakes? Ain't they baking tonight? They baking big time, ain't they? They baking. Making them cakes. Don't even know what they're making them to, but they making it to the Queen of Heaven. So you gotta understand, on the left side, they're doing things, like you see here, they're doing that. And it's automatically to their gods, their idols. And here we are on the right side doing the same thing, and you're gonna compromise, you're gonna say that's cool because they don't know? No. Most I ain't called them to know. Like he said in 2 Ezra 9:22, I had to come to that conclusion. He said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. You got to have that number, y'all. That's born in vain, he's going to kill. See, let my plant and my plant and my cluster, my grape be kept. With great labor have he labored to make it perfect. Paraphrase. Period. So he don't care about no multitude of people. He said a grape and let us plant. That's a grape and a plant. That's why he say go take one of a city, two of a family. What part of y'all don't get? Hello? I'm here to wake you up. This ain't for everyone. And I'm not going to compromise to be able to please people. Like I say, everybody talk about people. Everybody talk about the Most High. Where you fit in that? They love you talk about people, talk about this, that, or third, whatever. People do. They love to be able to blame you for something, but they're not like they're doing right here. They ain't said nothing about the Most High. They said Jeremiah. They ain't gonna listen to what you say. Jeremiah. Even though you coming in the name of the Most High, we're gonna do what we want to do, and we're gonna follow the Queen of Heaven. Semiramis, like y'all dealing with, you know, as you dealing with her, especially she comes into play during Easter, the fertility god, you know, during the springtime. Different names that she had, but just like Nimrod got many different names, you know, and the celebration that the pagans use and did with them for different nations. They had the same kind of pagan type of rituals that they follow. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings, verse 19, unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her? See that? So they making them cakes, that's worshiping the Queen of Heaven. And pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. It's women, you know, totally out of order, doing what they want to do. Without our men, just women knowing that just they know they're gonna do all this stuff to the Queen of Heaven. Then Jeremiah said unto the people, to the men, and to the women. You see how the men come first? That's the order. To the men and to the women. And to all, because the men should have control in not having them do that. The women doing these things. And to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burn in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Most High remember them? And came it not into his mind, like the things that y'all doing, and compromising with this pagan day, or any day, for that matter. It don't come in the Most High's mind, it said. Because if he called us into this truth, we are the lights to those that are not in the light and are in darkness, ignorance, not knowing. But how they gonna know if you still gonna compromise to be like them when you supposed to be shining bright? That's why we learn these scriptures. When the book is closed, we apply them one way or another. What it is that we deal with as being Hebrew Israelite, at least for me, what is like going somewhere and I'm gonna talk another language that you never heard before. You see me and I'm like, no. You take the opportunity as a strategist and trying to win someone over to the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, in your way of warfare, spiritual warfare. That's what we're dealing with here. But some people, y'all, I don't know. All I know is I'm saying to Mashiach Yahushua, I'm going to keep it real. Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. And are you one of them tribes? You could be part of the 12 tribes of Israel. If not, he ain't your power. You see how many times he just said this and just going through Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. What did he say? The power of hosts, power of army of angels, the Most High power of Israel. Why you got to keep saying that to us? Because we worshiping idols, as it is today, or people, for that matter. So that the Most High could no longer bear, you know this, because of the evil of your doings and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation and an astonishment and a curse without an inhabitant, as at this day. That's real, y'all. Miles and miles and miles of desolation in the land of Israel. Because ye have burned incense. That's why. Because ye have sinned against the Most High. And you sin against the Most High when you follow Christmas. You have anything to do with it, period. Don't tell me you gotta eat. You gonna eat Christmas meal tonight? No, you're not. So don't tell me about you gotta eat. I want to hear that. You eat every day. I mean, sometimes I have to be reminded when these holidays are. I'll be looking at just the time that first day, second day, third day, fourth day. Just moment. I'll be counting days, man. Like the days from the how we deal with the new moon and our feast days. That's what it's about. Okay. It's lucky for that. So you see, our women, they were doing things without their men, burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. And that's like and it really a lot of times I see that women be excited about women doing things more so than just, dealing with what we have to deal with and following the order of things with men. And that's they all together doing this. Verse 23. Because ye have burned incense and because ye have sinned against the Most High and have not obeyed the voice of the Most High, walked in his law, nor his statutes, nor in the testimonies. Therefore, this evil has happened unto you at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, and to all the women, hear the word of the Most High, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus said the Most High power of hosts, the power of Israel, saying. So you said about 4 times the power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her. This is what they're dealing with when they're celebrating Christmas. The same thing. And they're making cakes to her, as we just read. You will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. Therefore, hear ye the word of the Most High, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, said the Most High, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, the Most High power liveth. You notice the women that was doing it. You see, I told the man, you ain't gonna never call on my name, the Most High power of that Most High power living, because they was out of order. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. You see that? He got the men. That's why if you love a man, then a man got to do what he got to do. That's right with the Most High and correct these women. Because the man is over the woman, not the woman over the man, but the women now, they want to be in charge, because they know a little bit here, there, wherever. They want to tell the man what to do. No. Did he say the women? Or did he say the men? I think I just read he said the men. And you see what it said in verse 19. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, this women talk, and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? See? Even we're doing this without their men, but the Most High checked the man for having this wicked, evil woman doing the things that's against the laws of the Most High. Verse 27, behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. He said, till I kill all of you, men of Judah that's in the land of Egypt. Yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, he's telling you the future, shall know whose word shall stand. Like you gonna know, and I'm gonna know whose word gonna stand. Mine, that mine is the Most High's or theirs. Keep playing with the Most High. He said, and this shall be a sign unto you, said the Most High, that I will punish you in this place, that you may know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. See, that's why I'm here to warn you all the time, man. See, they don't read this in the church. They don't read this. They don't hardly read these scriptures because they want you to be docile. They want you to still be not afraid of the Most High. You know, He's our love. We're going to get the kingdom. We're going to put the nations in subjection to us and this, that, and the third, whatever. And you said, dare not make thyself one of the number. Believe this, y'all. That's why we can't be doing these pagan things, man. 2 Chronicles 36. Christmas like you never experienced it. 2 Chronicles 36 and 15. And the most high power of their fathers sent to them by this messengers rising up betimes early and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Most High rose against his people till there was no remedy. But what did they do? What did they do? Remember, he said he rose up early to send the prophets, man. And this is what we did as Israelites. Man, it's cold. So he rose up early to send the prophets to bring forth his word. And this is what we did. In 2 Ezra, the first chapter, the 32nd verse. So I send unto you my servants, the prophets, Israelites, whom ye have taken and slain and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. That's what we did. We didn't only kill the prophets, we tore their bodies in pieces. We're cold-blooded people. That's why you see the judgment coming upon us. That's why I said, verse 15. 2 Chronicles 36, 16. And the Most High power of their fathers, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, sent to them by his messengers, who are the prophets, rising up betimes, like we read before, quickly, and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. Most High having compassion. Remember, he already said the wrath and the evil he's going to put upon us. Now he said he having compassion on us and on his land. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets to the point they killed them and tore their bodies to pieces until the wrath of the Most High arose against his people till there was no remedy. Jeremiah 7 and 25. Jeremiah 7:25. Like I tell y'all, this Christmas is not no new thing. It was already doing this ritual. Call it the winter ritual. Time when, they brought in the sun worship and so forth. All these different pagan Saturnalia, Soli Victus, like we reading the Queen of Heaven, you know what I mean? All these things came into play that pagans were doing because all the gods of the nations are idols. They're not dealing with the Most High. That's why he specifically kept saying the power of Israel over and over again. In Ezekiel 44th chapter we just read. So we're looking at Jeremiah the 7th chapter. Look at verse 4. It says, trust ye not in lying words, saying the temple of the Most High. Any religion you can think of today. Catholic Church, Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, temple of the Most High. Church of Christ, Seventh-day Adventist, the temple of the Most High. Any other religion you can think of? Islam, builders, whatever. To the temple of the Most High are these. Or whatever they follow. That's pagan, like Christmas. And all these other pagan holidays that they follow. He said, for if ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings in keeping Christmas, if ye thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if ye oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods in your heart and your hurt, excuse me. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we do. Over and over again. Why we went into captivity after captivity after captivity after captivity under these nations. When you read the Bible, we mainly in captivity, y'all. Understand this. Because we didn't follow the commandments of the Most High. We didn't follow the laws of the Most High. The same laws that these poked up eating preachers telling you ain't got to follow. You're not under. Neither walk after other gods to your hurt. These religions are like other gods that Moses didn't know. I'm not sure I didn't know that. Tell me much. I'm not sure I knew about the Baptist Church. Jehovah's Witness. Huh? Church of Christ. Y'all say y'all are the ones that's bringing forth the elect. Show me in the Bible where that exists. Why are you not answering? Because they don't. But he showed us laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments. So then when I called you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. And that's what we're looking at. Keeping the laws and the commandments of the Most High, that we can go back to the land. That's the only time we're going to go back to them and be with them. He said, behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. So you trust in lying words that cannot profit. Because you love to be lied to. You can't show me nowhere in the Bible where we honored Christmas. You trust in lying words that cannot profit. That's why we know about you. We know about you. That's why I love the word of the Most High, because let them talk to you. Don't get no attitude with me. If you do, it's cool, though. I can take whatever. Because I know that I'm reading the Bible and I'm breaking it down for what it is, and I want you to come out of darkness, that ignorance that you're looking at. But this is us. You trust in lying words and that cannot profit, right? But this is what we want. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe means destruction to the rebellious children, said the Most High. That take counsel, that listen to somebody, but not of me. Y'all following the way of the world. The world say do this, so y'all follow exactly what they do. Or you got to be a certain way because the people of the world are that way. No, I ain't got to be no way but how the Most High made me to be as an Israelite, and I'm going to bring it forth as it is written, point blank. That's how the people of the book, I said the elect operated. Now, those that, didn't, that's what I say, you're going to be beat with more stripes. You're going to be chastised more because of the fact of you being called. And being called, you have a duty to do, every last one of us. Anytime that you have the opportunity to bring forth what it is that you know when the book is closed, you got to bring it, y'all. They take counsel, but not of me, he said. And that cover with a covering, or they got to cover myself up. But not of my covering, not of my spirit, because his spirit would have you continue to do whatever it is that you learn, you apply it in your life. Learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. Or you don't compromise to go backwards. That's why we're in captivity. We ain't getting out of captivity. As long as you compromise, go backwards, you ain't never getting out of captivity. That's why it says you trust in lying words that cannot profit. You're the covering, so you cover with a cover, but not of my spirit, that you may add sin to sin. You hear that? And that's when the book's gonna be open. It'll be like, whoa, you let me down here. I called you. This is the highest calling you could be called in, to know what this Bible is talking about. Know this truth, his laws, statutes, commandments, and the word of the Most High, y'all. Ain't no calling better than this. Ain't nothing more powerful than this truth. Trust me in that. And you have opportunity to bring it, you bring it. This are people, though, rebellious people. That's why I say destruction to them. Verse 9, Isaiah 30 and 9, that this is rebellious people, lying children. What it say? Jeremiah 7 and 8. Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. What we like? Who are we? That this rebellious people. Isaiah 30 and 9. That this rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear what? The law of the Most High. That's why I said so much. And I know it vexes you, especially you Christian sanity people, because y'all always say we ain't under the law. I heard this when I was a little boy. We ain't under the law, we under grace. And grace is only for the Israelites. That's it. Which say to the seers, see not, and the prophesy not of this right thing, see that? See that? Don't tell us the right thing, the righteous thing. The righteous thing is what you learn in this Bible, and when you have opportunity, you present it to anyone. What I like going up there and start, and next thing I'll be like a pork chop eating preacher. Think about that. I'm just like, Most High love everybody. He's the power of everybody. When we just read over and over again, he's the power of Israel. And all of a sudden, I'm going to change that up. That's a hypocrite. Would I be a hypocrite doing that? When I'm looking at what it is that's written here and I'm breaking it down, I'm showing you. No, that's why I say you want real men that's going to really stand up for this truth, and real women that's going to stand up for this truth. What it is that you learning and you apply it in your life by applying it to someone else. You never know. I look at it. Somebody out there need to hear it. They need to hear it. That's why he called you. That's why he called us. That's why here go those that are caught up with these people that are rebellious. Our people are rebellious. I'm not going to be rebellious with no rebellious people. I don't give a damn who they are. That this is rebellious people, lying children. You trust in lies. Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. Lying children. Children that would not hear the law of the Most High. Would say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not us the right things. Don't tell us Christmas is abomination. Speaking of smooth things, prophesy deceit. See, prophesy lies. What did it say? Jeremiah 7 and 8. Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. All it's going to do is you're going to have a hard time. Look how many people some people probably commit suicide because they ain't have enough money to get presents. Or they're winning so much debt just trying to, for one day. And the children tear that stuff up within a week. But they made that one day. When we got 8 days, Feast of Dedication, Feast of Lights, Feast of Hanukkah, you can celebrate 8 days, man. Which I got coming up next. They already got I bet you about it like this. 6th day, you go to the store, you're going to see things for Valentine's Day. What you bet? It's just commerce. That's all y'all are, commerce, man. When you can come back to the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, the holy days of the Most High, follow those, and please the Most High. You say, this is my holy day, but y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all up here dealing with pagan Christmas. He said, get you out of the way, they tell us. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And then what they say? They don't want to hear what this Bible say. They don't want to hear what the Most High is saying. And I'm talking about people in Christian insanity. They don't want to hear really what it's talking about. And they want to hear their false religions. That's why Jeremiah 7 and 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. It says, when you steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, which is Lord, you can replace that with Lord. That they put in the Bible that you saying is still Baal, whether you like it or not, or you believe it or not. And burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom ye know not. Let me show you that. I got to keep putting it out there because one day it's going to hit the right people that the Most High want. Like he said, let the multitude perish then. He don't want all y'all. It might not even be me. Hopefully he want me. I don't know. I'm going to try to still follow his directions though. You see that? Can you see that? Baal means what? Lord. See that? I got to keep putting in your face because one day it's going to penetrate. Who we want to really hear this is going to hear. You're going to realize, man, I got to stop calling on this other God, Baal, and walk out to other gods whom you know not. See that? And come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations. See? That's why it's a shame that we as a people just, I mean, it's just abomination after abomination that we have done. And we don't really look at ourselves as who we really are. That's why I bring the scriptures. That's all I'm going to bring. And he cutting us. I had to be cut and coming into this truth, the change. You got to be cut, no matter how you look at it. Most High don't have no respect to persons. Jeremiah 7:25, Jeremiah 7:25, since the day that your fathers came out forth out of the land of Egypt until this day, the 24th of the 12th month, 2025, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers. You know what they did to the prophets? They killed them and tore their bodies to pieces. Therefore, thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call up to them, but they will not answer thee. But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Most High, their power. There is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership to us, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. He said, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Most High, their power, nor receiveth correction. You tell them, you got to stop doing this. That's correction. Truth is Paris. The truth, we know that class, right? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. That's the Most High's law, is the truth. Truth is Paris, and it's cut off from their mouth. Ooh, that's real. We can say keep the commandments all we want to, but if we ain't going into them to show them these are the commandments, have some means. Like I said, you can go on my YouTube page and just type in going over the commandments, going over the 613 laws. You can find that's a start. And once you start, you get used to it, you go ahead and review them. Jeremiah 19:4. Jeremiah 19:4. Because ye have forsaken me. You forsake the Most High when you follow on Christmas. I'll tell you that. Or you can show me that the Most High say it was okay to follow Christmas in the Bible, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents, killed the babies. And I'll tell you, it's what they call a human night sacrifice. While y'all celebrating, having y'all good time, your family members, whatever, there are people that's being sacrificed on the rituals on the left-hand side. That's why I say the blood of innocence is still happening today. Children are being sacrificed. They are built also the high places of Baal, which means Lord. And they put it in the Bible because that's who they worship. And they put their God in this Bible, published in that Bible. And y'all calling on their God, Baal, to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. And that's what we did. We learned the ways of the heathen. And we put flavor in wickedness, took it to another level. We the Israelites. You see, nobody talk about how wicked we are and were. Enough, I'll say. I'm bringing it. Jeremiah 42nd chapter. Jeremiah 42, like I said, Christmas like you never experienced before. Jeremiah 42 and 17. So shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. You know why the Most High bringing evil upon anybody? Is because you drew evil to you. You did something that was contrary to what he would have you to do. Therefore, that's why he created evil. For those that do evil, you draw evil to you. You do what he say do, you draw blessings to you. It's very easy. It's not hard. But you can make it complicated if you want to. But the Most High created evil, right? For those that's going to do evil, because he knew evil. I mean, he told us what? Everybody obeyed in the beginning. He told Adam, mites, which is Adam and Eve, and those that were, Adamites, people, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So we ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and not just the tree of life and live. Everybody obeyed. We're supposed to live forever. We had immortality initially. But we ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Therefore, evil came into the world. That's what we brought into the world. So that's why he said, hey, created evil. Right there with don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We chose the evil. We chose the devil. We chose the old serpent. We chose to be following the way of the world. We always was like, that's why I said, hey, most I say, hey, ain't gonna listen to you, they won't listen to me. Here we are here, trying to bring it again, to our people in these last days. He said, so shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt, to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, food shortages, and by the pestilence, different diseases, man. And none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. For thus said the Most High, power of hosts, power of army of angels, the power of Israel. You keep hearing that, right? Don't y'all keep hearing that? The power of Israel. That's very important because everybody think he's the power of everybody. He said he's the power of Israel, the Israelites. As mine anger and my fury have been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured forth upon you when ye shall enter into Egypt, and ye shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach, and ye shall see this place no more. The Most High have said concerning you, O ye remnant of Judah, go ye not into Egypt, know certainly that I have admonished you this day. Say, no, sir, I have to admonish you this day. But ye disassemble in your hearts, in your minds, the wrong thinking. When you sent me unto the Most High your power, saying, pray for us unto the Most High our power. And according unto all that the Most High our power shall say, so declare unto us, and we will do it. Lying. They trust in lying words. They lie. That's a heck of a thing to lie concerning the Most High. That's what we did. And now I have this day declared it to you, but ye have not obeyed the voice of the Most High, your power is still a personal possessive pronoun, showing ownership. He's our power. Know anything for the which he have sent me unto you. Now therefore know certainly that ye shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, in the place whither ye desire to go unto to the sojourn, the land of Egypt. We want to go over there and kick it over there instead of our land of Israel. We want to be around them Egyptians. Okay. That's why we went in captivity after captivity, y'all. He kept them by the sword, and the rest that was righteous had to go down with the ones that was wicked. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. These people that's in charge right now, Esau. And shall wear out the saints of the Most High, And we're the saints of the Most High, the children of Israel. Psalms 148:14 proves that. And think to change times and laws. Change times like you change. Well, right now, y'all get ready to celebrate Christmas. You know, that goes all the way back to their pagan rituals and so forth. And I say that specifically because that's what you're dealing with. You know, first and foremost, humanized sacrifices right now. Like I say, Saturnalia, the worship of the sun, then they come in Sol Invictus, worship of the sun. They changed it from worshiping Sol Invictus to Mashiach Yahushua. Well, I'll say Jesus Christ because that's not him. To him, I mean, you're worshiping him. This is his birthday, right? Last messing their phone on showed it so much. This is his birthday, right? It ain't a Mashiach Yahushua birthday. But they changed times and laws, right? And they shall be given into his hand until a time and a times and divided a time. That's 350 years. Time is 100, times is 200, dividing the time is 50, that's 350 years. From the time that we came over him on these slave ships till about 1969, 1970, that's about 350 years later when this truth started to come out, man. Blasted across the whole world. Deuteronomy 28:20. Now, the Most High told us if we keep his laws, statutes, commandments, he's going to bless us. But we didn't. So from 15 all the way to 68 are the curses that befell we as the 12 tribes of Israel. Deuteronomy 28:20 says, the Most High shall send upon you. That's D is you, cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, like we just read about, burning incense to the Queen of Heaven, whereby thou hast forsaken me, whereby thou hast forsaken me, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And that's what we've always done. That's why he told us in verse 15, but it shall come to pass, a future prophecy, he said, if thou wilt not hearken, you don't want to listen unto the voice of the Most High, your power, thy power is your power. Again, the power of Israel, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake thee. And from verse 16 all the way to 68 are the curses that befell we, the children of Israel. But he told us in verse 1 and 2, Deuteronomy 28:1, he said, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, listen diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High, thy power, your power, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Hear that? He said, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if, that's a condition, thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High, thy power. But what do we do? Over and over again. You read the Bible, we might be in captivity. Why? Daniel's 9:11. Daniel's 9 and 11. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, by keeping Christmas, departing from the laws of the Most High. If you follow the laws of the Most High, the things that you say y'all supposed to be Christian, supposed to mean Christ-like, if that's the case, then why you didn't do what he did? And keeping the feast of dedication. He kept the feast of dedication. Why you didn't keep it? 8 days. First day is Holy Convocation, 8th day is Holy Convocation. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, your law, Most High, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. That we read about in Deuteronomy 28:15. We read 1 in verse 20. But you can read from 16 all the way to 68, and that don't befall nobody but us. Nobody can say that happened to them but us. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. We have sinned against him. That's what we have done. And still to this day, we still sin against him. You know? Come on. How they changed the times, daylight savings time. You know how they changed, move the clock back an hour during the winter, move it up during the springtime. Think about it. You know, the new year is coming up in about what 7 days, or yeah, about 8 days. That's the new year. You that's back east, it's snow, it's raining, it's cold. Do you see anything blooming? Flowers blooming? No, it's not the new year. They changed the times. I mean, every day of the week is named after an idol. Y'all say y'all want to make it to the kingdom, but you have to call on idols because you bow down to the system. You don't have to. All you have to do is say, hey, that's an idol. I don't say that name's an idol. You'd be surprised how many people don't know. And that's a conversation to be able to, no matter who it is, to be able to say, hey, they can learn something from you. Instead of sitting back saying, I got to do it because, everybody else doing it. Okay, well, everybody going, and the majority of people going to the lake of fire. The majority of people going to the lake of fire. That's where you going to? Because they doing it? The majority of the people going to the lake of fire. I just told you, he said in second Ezra 9:22, let the multitude, that's the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape and my plant be kept, for with great labor have I made it perfect, the Most High saying. So this ain't for everybody. No matter how you look at it, coming from wherever persuasion you came from or wherever you think you at now, you better understand. It's time to stand. He said, who gonna stand up for me against the evildoers? Who gonna rise up for me against the workers of iniquity? Who gonna do that? That's us. If you call, then it's you. If you learn this truth, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, all topics of life, you call. And you got a job to do. I don't care who you think you are. You got a job to do. First, you got to learn it. You got to live it. You got to apply it in your life and help somebody else to learn, live it, and apply it. Sacrifice. Let that be a sacrifice for you. Don't compromise, y'all. I'm telling you that. When that judgment comes, you're going to be like, you compromised against me. I called you. That's why I tell you in Ecclesiastes 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. And in evil, that's the devil, suspicion comes in and overthrow the judgment. You make the wrong judgment for these evil people. These people that are not righteous. They're not righteous. You're sitting there watching them eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all the abominations. They say they got the spirit, the Holy Spirit in them. And they feeding the Most High and the Mashiach garbage. And you seeing it, and you got to overlook it. Most High ain't overlooking nothing. He say gonna kill you. From Isaiah 66:15 down for eating the wrong things. He's in you, you giving him garbage. All kind of things. I mean, there's so many ways that you can look at this and dealing with just morals, And the love that neighbor as thyself. How I love you, and I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna be down with you being wrong. Come on. What's the difference between that and sacrificing animals because you're gonna do something wrong? So you get your animal that your turtle dove or if you ain't got nothing for flour, you sit down and you're gonna find something to sacrifice for the atonement of your sins when he wants you to be obedient. But you see what it say? We have sinned against the Most High. And then people will say, oh yeah, we all have come short of the glory of the Most High. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. Use that real fast in a hurry. An excuse, man. Ain't no excuse. We're gonna see what excuse you have whenever that judgment comes. Ain't gonna be no excuse for none of us. That's why we better do the best we can while we can. Speaking of Isaiah 65, that's what's up now. That's the spirit. Isaiah 65. All praise to the Most High. That's another thing y'all don't say. Y'all don't say no all praise to the Most High. You know, we dress to all praises. I hear it all the time. Um, Isaiah 65, verse 11. We're looking at Christmas in a way you never experienced it. Isaiah 65, 11. But ye are they that forsake the Most High. You know? Ye are they that forsake the Most High. Ye are they that forsake Mashiach Yahushua, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop and that furnace the drink offering unto that number. So what they doing? I mean, we just read about it. You go back, you just coming in, go back and look at the beginning of the lesson. We went through all of this in Isaiah. I mean, excuse me, Ezekiel, the 45th chapter, 44th chapter. Therefore, will I number you to the sword? Don't sound like a lot of love to me. That's why people run away from the Most High, and they think gonna run to Mashiach Yahushua. He said, "Hey, St. John 10 and 30, I and my Father are one." They agree. He hanging out with Michael out of the archangel of war. You think he saw love coming back to judge and make war? Tell you in Revelation 19:11, according to righteousness, according to the laws of the Most High. And y'all talking about we ain't under the law, he gonna kill you for breaking his laws. Look, I'll show you. Y'all play the Most High down and the Most High down if you want to. This is what it said. Jeremiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Most High, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, man. And that furnace the drink offering unto that number. And, you know, it's just like, you know how they come into church, they like a troop, they be all lined up. Like a troop coming into church. Trust in what? Lying words. Listen, they say, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, he calling you. I mean, this man, every year I go to this. So he calling because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake through the prophets, through the men of the Most High, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. That's what he said. I mean, you go wherever, it don't matter where you want to go. You're gonna do the same thing. Let's go to Zechariah 7. And the verse 8. And the word of the Most High came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaking the Most High power of whole saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion, every man to his brother. We ain't doing none of that. We are skin and grin in the enemy's faces and hate your brother. And don't even know your brother. A lot of y'all don't even know each other, hating on each other. Sad, man. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. See that? You got to always tell us to love each other. Because we the first ones to hate on each other. That's what I always say, black on black crime. Why they can say that? Because we hate on each other instead of following what he said. Imagine evil against his brother in your heart, in your mind. But they refuse to hearken, refuse to listen, and pulled away the shoulder and tell me what to do. You know how we are. That's us. And stop their ears, put their hand over their ears that they should not hear. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, like some of you probably will do. You know, share, comment, you know, and hit the notification bell. And send it to somebody, share it with someone. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law. You hear the law, the Most High say, ain't no Christmas supposed to be celebrated at all. That's commanded because it before Christmas, it was something else. Look at Netherlands, man. They paint their face up. You know, say they got no L's, they got slaves though. They paint their face in blackface during this time, man. Make mockery of the ones that ruled Europe, the brothers, the Israelites, the Moors, and so forth. And the words which the Most High of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets, that they remember what they did to the former prophets. Some of you just coming in, you might know, might not know, but I read in Second Ezra, the first chapter, the 32nd verse, they killed the prophets and they tore their bodies to pieces. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law, and have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Most High, power of hosts. You see that? Therefore came a great wrath from the Most High, power of army of angels. You see, because we didn't listen to him. But how do you think he's going to show favor to you in this day and you don't do what he say do? You should want to know more and more and more about what does the Most High feel about this or that or whatever. Because you're going to be judged. It's going to be like, don't think the Most High ways and thoughts are our ways and thoughts. It's not our ways and thoughts. And everything that we're doing is being put in the books, from a thought to our speech to our action. That's why he said, yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone. Nobody tell me I can't celebrate Christmas. They should hear the law. The law says we're supposed to be celebrating no birthday. Show me what Mashiach say ever celebrated his birthday. From 1 to 33 years old. I'm quite sure one of them years you can see in the Bible that, hey, here I am partying, having a good time on my birthday. It's not his birthday anyway. Like I said, it's not his birthday. We didn't celebrate no birthdays. You know why a birthday is abomination to the Most High? Because his name is jealous. And y'all ain't singing tomorrow, happy birthday, Jesus Christ. Happy birthday, Jesus Christ. Y'all ain't singing that. Ain't got nothing to do with him. You're gonna be getting your present, you're gonna bow down to that tree, put that present under it. If you ain't already bowed down to get it, have it under there. Or you're gonna sneak something in for your children, talking about Santa Claus, and lay out some dang on cookies and milk, and you ain't got no chimney, but he come down the chimney to bring presents there, and you know you done worked hard, or then maxed out all your credit cards and have a one day of Christmas, and then you're gonna let all the children hear that lie. You're lying to the children. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words with the Most High, power of hosts, power of army of angels, have sent in his spirit by the former prophets, that they killed and tore their bodies to pieces. Therefore came a great wrath from the Most High, powerful. So I say he gonna avenge their blood on us. And he did. Actually, he did. He did that while we were in captivity, slavery, and bondage over and over and over and over again. And he allowed our enemies just to do whatever they wanted to do. Therefore, it has come to pass. You don't want to listen? You don't listen to the Most High? And said, it's come to pass that as he cried, we made the Most High cry. As he cried, and they were not here, he crying. We made him cry. We made the Most High cry. And we didn't want to hear. He said, so they cried. And I would not hear, said the Most High, power of hosts. That's what he did. So ain't nothing new under the sun. Everything repeats itself. What did he do? But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations, whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate, like it is. You keep hearing that within this lesson. That land is desolate over there, y'all. After them, that no man passed through, nor returned, for they laid the present land desolate. Can y'all imagine that? But you know, we went into captivity. Let me show you. We went into captivity. That land, man, that land is beautiful. It's beautiful land. And that's gonna be the miracle. When you see that Everything gonna blossom. Nothing's growing on that land. It's like the Dead Sea. Nothing's in the Dead Sea. Nothing living in the Dead Sea. The land is the same way. It's just vacant. It's beautiful land, but nothing grows on it. It's crazy, but it's real. I mean, understand, overstand it. So he said he's gonna scatter us and take us into captivity, right? So this is what happened to us. Luke 21:24, under the Romans. When the Mashiach warned us, and they shall fall by the sword. The edge of the sword, selected. It shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Is what he just said he's gonna do? Did he say he's gonna scatter? Like did he say, but I will scatter them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not? In Zechariah 7:14. He said, they shall all fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive. Luke 21:24. Into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, these other nations, the Edomites, the Romans, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. You know that? Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. This is real, y'all. And that time is coming very soon. Go back to Isaiah 65. I want you to see something because I made a statement. I want to make sure you understand, whoever it is, because y'all think y'all can just do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it. All you have to do is just call on the name of Jesus. No, this is the judgment right here in Isaiah 65. And we're going to look at verse 15, 66 and 15. So like that. 66:15. For behold, the Most High will come with fire. For behold, the Mashiach Yahushua will come with fire. For behold, the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua coming together will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury. You know, he said he's gonna scatter us like a whirlwind. He said he's gonna come like a whirlwind, like a tornado, like a hurricane, to render his anger with fury. This is a future prophecy of the Most High, and is rebuked with flames of fire. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Most High plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Most High shall be many. I mean, he's gonna kill a whole lot of people. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, who he gonna kill? In the midst, doing what? Eating swine's flesh. Like, you tell me you can eat pig and it's all right. Eating swine's flesh. And the abomination, whatever you say you can't eat that's unclean, in Leviticus, the 11th chapter. And the mouse family, shall be consumed together, said the Most High. But I know their works and their thoughts. You can't tell me what I can eat. I'm going to eat my pork as long as I want to. My catfish, I'm going to eat anything I eat doodle. I love it. They say they love it. Most High said, I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues and languages, and they shall come and see my glory. Real. So we made the Most High cry, and here we are. Right now, he's like, hey, I wanted you to follow the things that Mashiach Yahushua did. Why y'all not doing what he did? What's the problem? Why are you not following what he did? What is the problem? This is what he followed. What we just finished in 8 days of the Feast of Dedication in St. John 10:22, instead of Christmas. St. John 10:22. By the time it was just a few days, that was the last day. By the time you finish 8 days, you kind of burn out. It's St. John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of Dedication. You hear that? The Feast of Dedication. It was winter. Like we see in the cold months right now, the winter in Israel. And Mashiach walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him and said to him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be a Mashiach, tell us plainly. That was very important. They didn't ask about you, Yahushua. There's many Yahushas, but there's only one, a Mashiach. Tell us plainly. And that's why people don't really understand the significance, the real importance of a Mashiach, because there's only one, a Mashiach. And when you understand Yahweh Shai, a Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, the anointed Savior, then you're not just dealing with Savior, you're not, because there's Yahweh Shai of Sirach, and Ecclesiasticus. There's many, like I say, J-E-S-U-S or Joshua. It comes from the word Joshua, the name Joshua, I might say. So there's many of those, but there's only one, a Mashiach. They asked him, are you a Mashiach? Tell us plainly. Mashiach answered them, I told you. There he is. Letting you know that he is a Mashiach, the anointed, the Messiah, the only one. And we believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. See, as I said unto you. A whole lot of people not of his sheep. They ain't of the sheep of the Most High. Look what we say, my sheep hear my voice. And I know them, and they follow me. The sheep hear his voice, and they're going to follow him. And I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. Till my Father which gave them me. So the Most High do the calling. And he gives us to a Mashiach Yahushai. And a Mashiach Yahushai is the one that shows us the Father. That's why I wonder if y'all rolling with a Mashiach. Because y'all don't ever talk about the Most High. If a Mashiach Yahushai is showing you the Father, then you should be talking about the Most High. He should be in you. But if he ain't in you, then you ain't rolling with a Mashiach Yahushai. You're rolling with something else. You would have said, my Father which gave them me is greater than all. And no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. He said, I and my Father are one. They agree. They're not the same. Meaning they agree. Like we got to be one. In the same mind, the same judgment. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. It's in the feast of dedication, at the feast. So take it or leave it. That's what's really going on, y'all. Ezekiel 23. That's what happened. And that's what y'all should be, coming out of and celebrate instead of celebrating some pagan day Christmas with the pagans and celebrating while they sacrificing people and so forth. Ezekiel 23 and 21. Dost thou call her to remembrance the newness of thy youth, and bruising your tits by the Egyptian for the paps of thy youth. This crazy. Say, therefore, O Oholabah, thus said the Most High Power, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side. The Babylonians, all the child. This is nations that's coming against us to bring us down for breaking the Most High's commandments, for breaking the Most High's laws. Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Sheol. And understand this, we got to go through Jacob's trouble. And I don't know what y'all going to do with those that you love so much that is off. I don't know what you're going to do. Hopefully you don't die with them. Those joining to them going to fall by the sword and say, you see, you're going to send the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Sheol and Koah and all the Assyrians with them. All of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great powers and renown. All of them riding upon horses, powerful men, right? And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against the buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set a judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments. Hear that? He's going to set us in the judgment that they're going to judge us according to their judgment. Not the laws of the Most High, but their judgments, right? Because we're going to learn the way of the heathen and do the things that was contrary to what the Most High told us we're supposed to be doing. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, man. And thy remnant shall fall by the sword. Make see that? Take away our nose and our ears. Cut it off. And thy remnant shall fall by the sword. And the Moab and Ammon, they had us in captivity for 18 years. And they just figured our face like that too. They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire. Sacrifice them in the fire, because that's what the Canaanites, that's what these other nations was doing, and they doing it still today. The Bohemian Grove and so forth up in northern California, they said that's what they be doing there. Sacrificing these children. Right now, I'm telling you, 21st to the 6th of next month is they got humanized sacrificing that they're gonna be doing. Now they're doing this. They say they shall also strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels. Most High decked us out. You can read about how he decked us out in Ezekiel 16th chapter. So he's gonna take away everything. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredoms brought from the land of Egypt. Remember, we running in Egypt, so we learned the whoredoms in the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. So you will lift your eyes to them at all. You're gonna mean, in other words, you're gonna have to bow down to your enemies that you're gonna sit against us for not following him. But thus said the Most High Power, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest. Hear that? He said he delivered us into the hand of those that hated us, that we hated them and they hated us, into the hand of them from whom thy mind is alienated, and they shall deal with thee hatefully. You hear this? So you doing the things that's abominable in the eyes of the Most High, he gonna deal with you lovingly. He say he gonna send people to deal with us hatefully, and they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare. You hear that? Take away all our clothes, naked and bare. That's humility. Take away all your pride. You know what the Most I say? He made us butt naked, man. And the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. I will do these things unto thee, because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen. You hear that? We had the Most High and have the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The power of powers, of powers, of powers, of powers, of powers. All praise to the Most High. And we chose to be like these heathen whose gods are idols. The flower god. I remember when I first started doing, I had to do camera work for other producers to be a producer in Long Beach TV station. And man, they had all kind of gods. They had people that believe all kind of ways. I'm behind the camera, filming it, doing like that. I'm looking like, dang. They had all kind of different rituals that they do. Different gods. I mean, different religions. They practice different things, y'all. Beyond your imagination. They had an earth god. I mean, one time they came. I was up on a scaffold. Someone said, "Drop it on them." Drop it on them. I say, "Nah, I can't do that. I want to be a producer." I said, "Oh, no, you said it got too heavy. Just drop it on them." I mean, they were doing rituals. I had to tell them both sides, forgive me for you being involved. They were doing rituals right there on these TV shows, man. It was crazy. All kind of things, man. It's all kind of different. Right now, today, there's many different religions, many different beliefs that people have that's beyond your imagination, man. Real for real. And they really, really believe in whatever they believe in. They got people that's right there with them. Man, I have a lot of different testimonies for in the world and in the truth, for real, for real. A lot of people, boy, we something else. And people, period. But you see what he said? He said, verse 30, I will do these things unto thee, because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen, and because thou art polluted with their idols. These religions, y'all. Thou hast walked in the way. That's why the religions, they the ones that accepted Christmas as being a Mashiach Yahushua birthday, knowing that it's from the sun, the actual sun in the sky, and they changed the sun in the sky to represent the son of the Most High, to a Mashiach Yahushua. And thy sister, therefore, will I give her cup into thine hand. Thus say the Most. That's talking about the northern tribes and the southern tribes. That's what this chapter is talking about. So you understand what it's talking about. It said, "Thus say the Most High Power, thou shalt drink of thy sister's cup deep and large." Talking about the northern tribe. He got rid of them and said, "Man, they doing idolatry." Mainly when you read the Bible, we talk about this Old Testament is mainly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and those tribes that are northern tribes that had enough sense to be with us. But they went in captivity too. That's why he said, both of us, northern tribe, southern tribe. We talk about all of us, man, we still with beggars. He said, "Thou shalt be filled with drunkenness and sorrow." And that's what they doing on Christmas. What are they doing? Getting drunk, knocking over the Christmas tree, gonna be fires and all that stuff. Christmas tree gonna catch on fire. Somebody gonna get burned up, death. I mean, it's terrible. Thou shalt be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, with the cup of astonishment and desolation, with the cup of thy sister Samaria. Talking about the northern tribes. He's talking to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi primarily. He's talking about saying he happened to Samaria, that represents the northern tribes, the other tribes. Thou shalt even drink it and sup it out, and thou shalt break the sherds thereof, and pluck off thine own breast. For I have spoken it, said the Most High Power. Mm, mm, mm. Therefore, thus said the Most High Power, because thou hast forgotten me. You tell me, any of you out there, they get ready to celebrate Christmas. How the Most High fit into that? Help me out. I know you have some explanation of how you feel that the Most High is honoring Christmas through the scriptures. That's how we're anointing to the scripture. I ain't talking about something you can make up. I'm talking about show me some scriptures that say, "Hey, Most High love this day. This is his son's birthday." When Masha would say, he showed me this when he celebrated his, I will say, the 15th birthday. When he turns sweet 16, right? What did he do when he turned 16? You have a celebration for turning 16, birthday party? Huh? Show me somebody had a birthday party and had the candles on the cake and all this stuff, and all that stuff is rituals. But we don't know it, and then we get an attitude whenever you be telling our people the truth, then they get an attitude because they want to remain in the congregation of the dead or please somebody, or the compromise, you got to be like them and not show them the right way. When we held accountable, that's why they can go on about their business. You say you can be with many stripes because you know better. Believe this. For his best, do what he say do. Therefore, thus say the Most High Power, because thou hast forgotten me and cast me behind thy back. That's what we did. We made him cry, cast him behind our back. Therefore, bear thou also thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. Really, man. He judged both of us, man, the northern tribes and the southern tribes. But here we are, even to this day, 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. This is what you're doing if you celebrating Christmas. 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. But I say that the thing with the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. You hear that? So that's a Gentile pagan celebration. Going all the way back to Queen of Heaven, the sun god, Saturnalia, Soli Victus, all these things represent Christmas. But I say that the thing with the Gentile sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High or Mashiach Yahushua. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. Think about all the people that's going to be jacked up because they couldn't get any presents, or people going to be put down behind what it is that they can't do because they're poor. And some people are going to commit suicide. It's just terrible. You got this one day that you're looking forward to, and you're not able to supply what it is that other people are able to do for their loved ones or whatever. And it's just it's a sorrowful day for a lot of people. that's poor, you know. And this wasn't always a celebration, even in America. Bring that out. Say, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. Where we at in the New Testament? 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. We not in the Old Testament, we in the New Testament. So the Gentile nations sacrifice to devils because all the gods of the nations are idols, deceitful and evil people. That's devils. And not to the Most High. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils, it says. That's what Paul's saying. Y'all like to run to Paul. That's what Paul's saying. We supposed to be having no fellowship with y'all devils. It says, ye cannot drink the cup of the Most High and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Most High's table. You cannot be partakers of a Mashiach table and a table of devils, man. Come on. They're the ones put it out there. They're the ones want you to follow what it is that they want you to follow. And this is what you have done. That's why ain't nothing new under the sun. You're doing the same thing. Let's look at what we did as a people. Go to Psalms 106 and 35. Psalm 106 and 35. This is what we did. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, when the Most High told us in Jeremiah 10. Mingle among the heathen, learn their works, right? He told us in Jeremiah 10, the 10th chapter, verse 1 to 5. What did he tell us? He go, your Christmas tree right here. Jeremiah 10 and 1. What did he tell us? Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. This is what he told us. Thus said the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? So he told us, don't learn the way of the heathen. We just read, we learned the way, we mingle among the heathen and learn the ways of the heathen. See how rebellious and how contrary that is to what the Most High just told us? He thus said the Most High, verse 2, learn not the way of the heathen, right? And we learn the way of the heathen. This is what it said concerning what the heathen do and what we did. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. It is worthless, have no merit in the Most High's eyes. For one cut up a tree out of the forest, like just a Christmas tree, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They got to put that little, stand on the bottom of it, hammer the trunk into that wood so it stand straight up, so it don't move. They are upright as the palm tree, talking about a Christmas tree, but speak not. Why do you say they speak not? They must needs be born, because they cannot go, meaning they got to be carried, because they can't go on their own. This is a god. The Christmas tree is a idol. Be not afraid of them. Why are you gonna say don't be afraid of a tree? Think about it. You got to carry it. You got to fasten it so it can stand up straight. You said be not afraid of them. You got to know this is superstition. These are things that we went through as a people until this day. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Hear that? They cannot do evil. That's the reason why it was said. It's the reason why you got to know why it's said. Can a tree do evil? Come on. Neither also is it in them to do good. See? They can't do evil, they can't do good, because what happened was Nimrod was put to death and chopped up. Like we chopped the prophets up. Chopped up. And every part of his body pretty much was gathered by his mother/wife, Semiramis, except for his private part. And so that Christmas tree represents an uncircumcised private part, okay, of a man. That's what that represents, uncircumcised private part, okay? So she said, if you don't bring gold and silver, put it under this tree, and bring it to me, that Nimrod spirit is in that tree is going to harm you. Superstition. We very superstitious. But you know, they deck it with silver and gold. They deck it all. Look at them right now. It's all decked out with silver and gold, little trimmings and so forth. That's why you to tell us. It got to be carried. They're not no gods. They're not no idols. They're idols, but they're no gods. They're no powers. Because they cannot go. They cannot go on their own. Be not afraid of them. Because she was saying that his spirit's going to come and harm you to death if you don't come and do what she said do. So I said, be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is there in them to do good. You see? But we as a people, we always find the way to offend the Most High over and over again. That's your Christmas tree right there. And it also talks about it in Baruch, the 6th chapter in the Apocrypha. Baruch, the 6th chapter. Look here. Baruch 6:1 said, because of the sins which ye have committed before the Most High, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. Going into captivity, y'all. So when ye be come into Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, for a long season, namely 7 generations. We were there for 70 years. And after that, I will bring you away peaceably from thence. Yeah, we went to the Persian Mede captivity, right after the Babylonian captivity. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver, we just read about, and of gold, and of wood, borne upon shoulders. Remember, it's got to be carried. Trees got to be carried, which caused the nation to fear. Because she said, if you don't bring gold and silver, Nimrod gonna come and kill you. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like two strangers, like these other nations. Neither be ye afraid of them. See, I coincide what we just read in Jeremiah 10:1-5. Neither be afraid of them. When you see the multitude before them and behind them, worshiping them. See? Because all the nations will tell you in Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. They dealing with idolatry. But say ye in your hearts, in your minds, O Most High, we must worship thee. Because they were worshiping. That's what you understand this. When you bow down and put that present under that tree, you bow down to that idol. No matter who it is. And when you bow down and get that, you're not standing up getting that present from under the tree like this. You bowing down. You're on your knees and you bowing down to that tree. You get that present from under it. Right or wrong. That's what you're doing. Look. Verse 6. Better hear this. But say in your heart, say in your minds, O Most High, we must worship thee. That's why I say all praise to the Most High. Some of us shall go aside. We're going to worship the Most High. For mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls. Hear that? But here we are, we're looking more to the heathen that don't have the Most High, don't have the angels. Look what he said. Understand this. Go to Psalms 34:7. He said, I'm with you. The angels with you. Psalm 34:7. He said, the angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. But if you just got your own way and you just thinking, I mean, a lot of y'all be, you be negative, man. against what the word says. That's why I say you got to learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. And it works. Listen, Baruch 6 and 8. As for their tongue, what they had to say, it is polished by the workmen, and they themselves are guided and laid over with silver. Christmas tree, like a Christmas tree. Yet are they but false and cannot speak. Why you gotta keep telling us this? Because we're superstitious people. And we believe that the Christmas tree, if we ain't bring this gold and silver to the Semiramis, that Nimrod spirit was in the tree. That was Nimrod right there. Gonna deliver us into damnation. Tear us up, man. He gonna bring evil upon us. Not even think about the Most High. Anything, you understand, the whole objective of this world is to keep us from the Most High. And they're doing a great job. Because nobody hardly talk about them. You know, we just talk about, they got us so that right now we debating with people. It's about people. What I know about people, what you know about people, people. Or prove me wrong. That's why the Most High said, when he bring all of Mashiach's enemies and put them under his feet, then Mashiach gonna be subject to him. He said, when he put all of Mashiach's enemies under his feet, that's when he's gonna be accepted. That's something. So I understand that. It's just a matter of who it is I'm looking at, who really gonna get this. Who really gonna look at, because I mean, more and more I see that he said, like he said, we made him cry. We made him cry. So when we cry, and that's the only time he had pity on us, he said, he gonna laugh at you. Show you that. But look what we do. Look what we doing. I mean, you gotta look at what we're doing. And some of you gonna compromise. Okay, you carry Israelite or not. You're gonna be right up there Christmas, eating the Christmas dinner and doing everything, looking at everybody getting their presents and all that stuff. And you a part of it. That's why he separated us from all nations, man. He separated us from the madness of this world. Or you part of it. Baruch 6. Like I said, we just celebrated the Feast of Dedication, 8 days. 8 days of celebrating, not no one day. After 8 days of celebrating, you should be tired. You could be tired from all that. But, you know, we to each his own, like I said. This is what we rather do. Follow the way of the heathen. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. We learn the way of the heathen. Baruch 6 and verse 9. And taking gold, as it were, for a virgin that loveth to go gay, they make crowns for the heads of their gods. And what they put on top of them trees. Big old crown, big old, some they put on top of it, star. Sometimes also the priests convey for their gods gold and silver and bestow it upon themselves. Yeah, they will give thereof to the common harlots, the prostitutes, and deck them as men with garments. Hear that? Deck the harlots with as men with garments, being goldens of silver and gods of gold and wood. Yet cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moth, though they be covered with purple raiment. They wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple, when there is much upon them. You got to wash the dust off of them, man. And he that cannot put to death one that offended him, hold a scepter, power, rules, with authority, as though he were a judge of the country. These are idols. Sitting there with a scepter, like he was a judge of a company, saying, a country, excuse me. Say he have also in his right hand a dagger and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves. I mean, he's sitting there with a sword and a dagger in one hand. He said he can't even deliver himself from thieves that come and just take him and do whatever they want to do with him, whereby they are known not to be gods. Therefore, fear them not. We just looking at the Christmas tree. Same thing. The one of the Most High was telling us in Jeremiah 10th chapter, right? Fear them not. For like as a vessel that a man uses is nothing worth when it is broken, even so it is with their gods. When they be set up in the temple, and they got the Christmas trees up in the churches, y'all know they have up in the churches, their eyes be full of dust through the feet of them that come in. They come in, they walking in, the dust go all on them, man, these idols, Christmas trees included. And as the doors are made sure on every side upon him that oft offended the king, as being committed to suffer death, even so the priests make fast their temples with doors, with locks and bars, lest their gods be spoiled with robbers. Yep. They got an idol place around the corner from me. That's all they sell is idols. You know what they have there? Christmas trees. They got them right there in the front. And whenever they close down, they close them in, they lock them in. So nobody come and steal them. They light their candles, yeah, more than for themselves, whereof they cannot see one. They can't see no, I don't care what you put them lights on them, Christmas tree ain't seeing nothing. They are as one of the beams of the temple, yet they say their hearts are gnawed upon by things creeping out of the earth. And when they eat them and their clothes, they feel it not, because they're not real. I mean, you got all these idols, man, that he's telling you they deck them out. Even they put Twinkies and incense, burn incense to these gods, and that's what we were doing. The same thing that the heathen were doing. We always copy off of them. And then once we get it and see what they're doing, then we take it to another level. They tell you all wickedness can pass the ways of the wicked. Say we taught the wicked ones our ways. That's sad. They're no gods, y'all. They're nothing to be, and it's looked upon as a god. You gotta hear this. The Christmas tree is an idol that you bow down to put a present under it, and you bow down to get the present from under it. Verse 30. For how can they be called gods? Because women set meat before the gods of silver, gold, and wood. Like we read about in Ezekiel 44th chapter. And the priests sit in their temples, having their clothes rent and their heads and beards shaven, and nothing upon their heads. See? You hear this? And the priests sit in their temples, having their clothes rent, their clothes torn, and their heads and beards shaven. Their hair on their head, their hair on their beards taken off, and nothing upon their heads. You hear that? That's taken away from what it is that we operated as priests. We had, I did a lesson on, because somebody was saying, why do I have something on my head? This is a priest headpiece. But I did a lesson on, you know, carnally, that's carnal right here, and spiritually. You can look it up. That's what I said. They said, and nothing upon their heads. Because we had things that we wore on our heads. They roar and cry before their gods, as men do at the feast when one is dead. The priests also take off their garments and clothe their wives and children, whether it be evil that one doeth unto them or good, they are not able to recompense it. They can neither set up a king nor put him down. That's what we're looking at. In like manner, they can neither give riches nor money. Though a man make a vow unto them and keep it not, they will not require it. Do y'all understand Okay, you might know you cannot look at where we at now. This is where you got to go back to when all this stuff began, way back in Genesis, all the way to now. And here we are still doing the same rituals, man. You know, we had to be told that they cannot hurt us because we believe that, you know, they have power. He's telling you they got to be dusted off. They got everything, you know, knock the Christmas tree over. Was most time they're gonna knock them over because they're gonna be drunk. Knock the Christmas tree over. You got to pick it up and put it back up again. Fix it all up again. It's just real. Verse 36, they could save no man from death, neither deliver the weak from the mighty. They cannot restore a blind man to his sight, nor help any man in his distress. Can't do nothing, in other words. They can show no mercy to the widow, nor do good to the fatherless. Listen to this. They're gods of wood. Scripture tree is wood. Tree is wood. And they use that evergreen tree because it's supposed to be lasting forever. They're gods of wood, and which are overlaid with gold and silver, like they do the Christmas tree, are like the stones that be hewed out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded. You're gonna be confused. Let's look at Titus, the first chapter. Titus 1, first chapter. Titus 1 and 14. It says, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Now, you look at commandments of men that turn from the truth. You got to look at this because these preachers are not dealing with the truth. Well, we know the truth, class, is Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. But here we are dealing with, these fables and commandments of men. Because they making money off y'all. That's all it is, money. Y'all commerce right now. You're following the way of men that turn from the truth. And the truth is the laws and the commandments of the Most High. Understand this. Verse 16, they profess that they know the Most High. They profess that they know Mashiach Yahushua, but in works they deny him. Or show me where the Most High Mashiach Yahushua said, hey, celebrate my birthday. Show me where the Most High said, hey, bring a Christmas tree in your house, bring your Christmas tree into the church, deck it all up and put presents on it, bow down to it because it's an idol. Because you don't know that, but you know now. And put presents under it. If you don't, then Nimrod Spirit will come and destroy you way back from Genesis 11 chapter on forward. These are rituals that they already had. They had winter festivals that they took the pagans, what they were dealing with, and they combined it with your Christian insanity, madness that y'all dealing with until this day, man. Because if you don't follow what he say do, you're gonna be crispy, and you're gonna already be told in the judgment you was insane. Because you were told what to do and you didn't want to listen, so that's insanity. Come on. They profess that they know the Most High. They profess that they know of Mashiach, but in works they deny him, being abominable. You hear that? You're abominable if you do what it is that they have you doing, because it's all to keep us from the Most High. Most High, show me the law that Most High said, bow down to a tree and put presents under it, and bow down to get your present from under it, knowing that it's an idol. Being abominable and disobedient. They don't want to listen. A lot of y'all don't want to listen. And every good work reprobate. Good for nothing. That's what he's saying. Every good work, we know what's good. Romans 7 and 12. The commandment is holy. The law is holy and just and good, man. That's why he call you a bunch of reprobates, man. Why? Because You don't want to be dealing with what's real, you know, the real. The most high is real. Mashiach is real. You don't need no treat. You gotta stop doing these things. Go back to Psalm 106:35. Psalm 106:35. Look what it says. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So we're mingled among these heathen, we learned their works. We took in the pagan days of following Christmas, and here we are now, 2025, getting ready to celebrate the same thing that they were celebrating the pagans way back in Genesis. That's why I said we learned the way of the heathen. We're mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they serve their idols. See, we serve their idols. That Christmas tree is an idol, y'all. Which were snares, it's a trap under you. Yeah, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters and the devils. Like we just read in 1 Corinthians 10:20. That's what the Gentiles do. They sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. He said, I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Most High and the Mashiach that was signed the cup of devils. Which one you going to choose? But we sacrifice our sons and our daughters unto devils. Had the sons and the daughters follow the same way of the heathen. Not only that, and shed innocent blood, actually sacrificed them. Like they're being sacrificed now. They call it a human night sacrifice. Started from the 21st of this month until the 6th of next month. The human night sacrifice. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. See, we went into the land of Canaan. That's the land of Israel. We went in there and learned their works, what they were doing. The Most High gave us specific instructions what to do. And the land was polluted with blood. That's where they defiled their own works. It's us. There is the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and went a whoring with their own inventions to this day, man. Look what he told us. Go to Deuteronomy, 7th chapter. Oh, praise the Most High. Deuteronomy 7th chapter. And verse 3, first he told us, he said, because it was 7 nations, these are Hamite nations that was in the land of Canaan. Well, let's read it from verse 1. You see there in there. When the Most High thy power bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites, there were the Canaanites right there, and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Most High thy power shall deliver thee before thee, thou shalt smite them. These are commandments, these are orders, these are laws. He said, smite them, kill them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, no contract, no agreement with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? But they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. He telling us what we're supposed to do. First he said, kill them. Now he's saying, but this shall you deal with them. This is, for thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, everything they believe in, their altars, they pagan altars, and break down their images, Christmas and anything else that they have going on, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Get rid of everything that they're dealing with. But no, we learned the way of the heathen and start following what they did. We learned what they were doing and went against the Most High every single time, offending him. But thou art an holy people, the Most High said, unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee. That's us, the 12 tribes of Israel, to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. But no, we want to be like them. We want to be, we want to follow them. And they below all people on the face of the earth. But he told us we're supposed to be above all people on the face of the earth. We want to be below all people on the face of the earth. That's where we end up being, didn't we? In captivity after captivity, we wasn't above nobody in captivity. To this day, man, it's always about keeping us from following the Most High rules and regulations. You know about that? Psalms 106:37. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. We sacrificed our sons and daughters to these idols of Canaan. Can you imagine what kind of mindset that we have, huh? That's what they defile with their own words and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore, was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. You want to follow them? He gave us what he tell us. But we're mingled among the heathen, verse 35, and learn their works. So you want to learn the works of the heathen? What he say? Verse 41, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. And that's us. What you gonna do about that? That's what he did. Proverbs 12:26. Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. Oh, it's just for the kids. We got children. We don't have kids, but it's just for the kids. Y'all say the same thing that they say. It's just for the kids. You got no kids. What are you talking about just for the kids? Oh, well, we just celebrating it, just something to do. All the family can come together and, because we off work at this time, but they're having, you see, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters. They ain't never stopped, y'all. They still doing that. We call it humanized sacrifice. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. The way of the wicked gonna seduce you if you ain't really tapped in to know how you're gonna stand for the Most High. And Mashiach Yahushua, like he said in Psalm 94:6, who's gonna rise up for me against the evildoer? Who's gonna stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Who gonna do it? Which one of y'all gonna do it? Or you just gonna follow the way of the heathen, just be satisfied with what they doing instead of being that light that's shining in darkness? Because they in darkness. You supposed to be shining that light that that the Most High is giving you to be able to help them to see out of this darkness through this marvelous light. But no, we doing what we do. How are we doing it? We gotta pay one way or another. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Y'all lied to the children talking about Santa Claus gonna brought all these presents and lay out some cookies and milk and all that stuff, following the way of the heathen. And good and well, you ain't got no chimney for him to come down. There ain't no white man coming into your house giving you nothing. Point blank. Think about that. That somehow you take all the credit that you didn't. And then it's so sad because a lot of y'all work all year long to pay for that credit card or credit cards or whatever you didn't maybe never pay it off. You know what I mean? Pay a minimal payments and this and the third, never get rid of them. And just for that one day, you be in debt for that one day. That's it. That's what I say, train up a child the way it should go. So you lying to the child, so you want your child to grow up and be liars like you. I was there back in the day. I just changed, Long time ago, though. You know what I mean? Like telling the child a lie. Then when they lie, how you gonna say you can't lie? You can't lie to you. You done lied to them. And children are real intelligent. You better believe it. Train up a child in the way it should go. You're supposed to be following the feast of dedication, 8 days. You know, what if you gave a present 8 days in a row instead of one day? I bet you they would love that, wouldn't they? More so than just one day or however many days you want to do it. Surprisingly. So, you know what I mean? But you train up a child in the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Most High ain't tell us to raise no children to follow no Christmas, man. Psalm 78 and 5. He tell us what he told us to do. We're supposed to train up a child in the right way, man. For he established a testimony in Jacob, this Psalm 78 and 5, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. See? Train up a child on the way he should go. When he's older, he will not depart from it. So he's supposed to be learning the laws of the Most High, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, you know, and learning of the sacrificial laws that we had to go through, that the generation to come might know them. This is what you're supposed to be teaching the children. Even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children. You see, the laws of the Most High. But everything in this world is to keep you from following the laws of the Most High, because they figure that's how they'll keep their kingdom going or kingdoms going. That they may set their hope in the Most High. Anybody set their hope in the Most High? I ain't talk about the Most High enough. And not forget the works of the Most High. What works of the Most High is being talked about? Y'all just talking about people, Israelites and people, you know, however you look at it. That's all I see is going on right now in these last days. And not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. It might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright. They ain't set their mind right. And we done seen all day long, y'all celebrating Christmas. And whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. See? Verse 11 say what? No, verse 10, they kept not the covenant of the Most High and refused to walk in his law. That covenant, that contract that he made with us, and we refuse to walk in his law. Sound familiar? We ain't under the law, but we're under grace. And you Gentiles, you've been grafted in. You don't know who you've been grafted in among. That's these religions. Got to run around the church like a chicken with his head cut off. That's the Holy Ghost. No, that's not the Holy Spirit at all. Because he tell you the Holy Spirit gonna bring all things back to remembrance. You're gonna remember what it is that was taken away from us, and us being the children of Israel. Till now we got to read a book to find out how to act. They kept not the covenant of the Most High, verse 10, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works and his wonders that he has showed them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zohan, man. I mean, all these things he done. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through on dry ground. And he made the waters to stand as an heap each side, man. Come on. In the daytime, also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. That's what Mashiach shadows leading us in that cloud, in that chariot. That was him. That's what it tells you that in 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. He's the top angel of the Most High, y'all. But see, if you don't know him, when y'all say he came in the flesh, then you don't know him. We say he come in the volume of the book. 1 Corinthians 10 and 4, it says, but with many, verse 4. 1 Corinthians 10 and the 4th verse. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them. Like we just read that cloud in the day and a fiery chariot by night. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. See, that was him. That was him. Verse 9 said, neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted. Well, we had in the wilderness and were destroyed of serpents. They teach you that in church? No. Y'all think Hamashiach just came to existence when he came on the earth in the flesh. No. That's all the way back in the wilderness. Well, he had poisonous snakes kill us. Straight up. Neither murmured ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. That's Hamashiach Yahushua, the one y'all say y'all supposed to be honoring tomorrow, but that's not his birthday at all. Point blank, no way, shape, or form. He never told you to celebrate his birthday. Or tell me what do you do on his 17th birthday? Hmm? Y'all probably remember when y'all had a birthday party in y'all days. What did he do? You don't see it. You don't see it nowhere. So why y'all doing things that's contrary to what he did? Now look at this one is born. Since y'all want to say tomorrow's his birthday, go to Luke the 2nd chapter. We start at verse 40. And the child, this is Mashiach Rashai, grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of the Most High was upon him, right? Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover, which is between Esau's 3rd month and 4th month. Because the month's named after God's too, so I'm not calling on that. You can just figure it out. The 3rd month don't take much to count from one. Like next month is the 1st month, okay? 2nd month, 3rd month, okay? That's when Passover usually falls between the 3rd month and the 4th month, okay? So his custom was for other parents, Joseph and Mary, every year at the feast of the Passover. You know, they went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, that's when he was born. When, meaning at that precise time, when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. You see? So that's when he was born, during the Passover time. Look up the word when. It means at that time, the precise time. That's his birth. Not tomorrow in the dead of winter. And to tell you how shepherds was out there looking over the flock. You know, brothers, and you know what brothers. Wasn't no Edomites and no Edomites and no Hamites, none of them. It was us. And we ain't out there looking over no sheep in no winter time. It's cold over there, y'all. It ain't like summertime. It was cold in the winter time over there. So it tell you, you know, Psalm 29 and 17, it say, correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yeah, he shall give delight unto thy soul. We got to correct them. Can't just let them be buck wild, do whatever they want to do. Train up a child in ways to go. When he's old, he shall not depart from it. You know, Christmas became a national holiday in what year? Y'all know? 1870. National holiday. In the Netherlands, it was 1810. And I told you how they do. You look on TV, look at the Netherlands right now. They dress themselves up and put on blackface, you know, make mockery, man. Look at Jeremiah 7 and 18. See, all this is honoring, like I said, Nimrod, his mother/wife. You know, they try to say a myth, but Nimrod had intercourse with his mother and had Tammuz. And that's what they're doing we'll get to that when we get to Easter. That's what they do when they do the 40 days of Lent. They put that you think it's a cross, but it's a T for Tammuz on their forehead. And it's 40 days and 41 day for each day that he lived. See, all this pagan. We don't know that because we haven't been taught. We got to be taught these things. Jeremiah 7:18. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindled the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. See, these are the things that's going on that you can look at it as just simple, something simple, but it's not. It's not, because these are the things we've been doing, and here we are not knowing where the origin of it comes from, and we just do the things that provoke the Most High to anger. Do they provoke me to anger? Say the Most High. Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces and following the way of the heathen? You ain't no different than them. Therefore, thus say the Most High Power, behold, mine anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man and upon beast, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn and shall not be quenched. Thus say the Most High Power of hosts, the power of Israel. You see that? Put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices to eat flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. Because he wanted us to be obedient. That's what he's going to say. But this thing commanded I them, saying, because, we got to deal with sacrifice. That's why I understand how y'all thinking that this temple going to be built in the kingdom when we sacrifice animals. For what? We're going to be obedient. We're not going to be all wicked like it is now. What's the point of bringing the kingdom? He coming to judge in righteousness. He's going to set up righteousness. He's going to teach us how to be righteous. So we ain't going to be doing the things that, look, before we go any further, I don't like to be talking to him. This is the kingdom right here. Look what he said. Isaiah 60:21. Look. Isaiah 60:21. Thy people also shall be all righteous. So what we sacrifice animals for? Turtle doves. And thy people shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. See? He ain't glorified. Most High is not glorified. Y'all just talk about people. People. That's all y'all talk about. You don't talk about the Most High. People don't know the Most High. Ask, do you know the Most High? You say, no, they be real. No. You know the Most High? No. You already said that I may be glorified. Who you think that I is? The Most High. Not no man. Not your leader, not your minister, not your pastor, priest, or whoever. It's the Most High going to be magnified and glorified. Period. Y'all better recognize, man, this is what it's all about. But I see most people, y'all caught, y'all nothing but, like I said, robots, y'all follow suit for what everybody else doing. And they follow, like y'all said, all praises. I seen some cats, they mocking IUIC. Look like, I know they I don't think they with IUIC, coming down the plane, saying the things that they say. You hear it. It's crazy, man. It's part of the ones that's probably was talking about crucify my shake of shine, let us be on us and on our children. Making mockery, man. That's all right. We're gonna see who's gonna get the last laugh. That's for sure. Isaiah 5:20. I mean, got their uniforms on and everything, the garments on like they IUIC. Get out of here. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good. Christmas is evil. You say destruction to you that call Christmas good. Because it's a pagan ritual. That you're gonna be having a good time when people being sacrificed. Straight up. Woe, destruction unto you that call evil good and good evil. That put darkness for light, And that's what they had. It was like they were, hoping for the sun to come because, in the wintertime it's dark, and that, that I think the longest day is in the winter. They're looking for the sun to come back. I'm talking about the pagans back before you even imagine. Like I said, we go back to Genesis 11 chapter with Nimrod. Talk about Nimrod. This ain't nothing new. They just, the Christians, the pagans and the Christians just play, they brought it together. And just like you had the New Testament was compiled in 325 AD. What did they do then? They took the Sabbath day and made it the first day, from the seventh day to the first day of the week. They just added their Greek names to the days of the week. They ain't changed no days. The days still the days that they are. They were. They just added names to them. Gave them Greek god names, idol names. That's what y'all calling on. Every time you name a day of the week, y'all calling on them gods. Like next month is a two-headed god. Named after a two-headed god, the month. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. It's just all the way opposite. That's what it's talking about. People that are taking things and they're making it all the way opposite of where it should be. Verse 23, which justify the wicked for reward. You justify what they're doing and even dealing with this Christmas for reward. They're just making commerce out of you. That's all. You're nothing but commerce. And take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. And that's in Jacob's trouble. That's what they plan on doing. Taking the righteousness of the righteous from us. The Shias, to see if the Most High going to be with us, if Hashem is going to be with us or not. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble, you know what fire going to do to tumbleweed, and the flame consumeth the shaft, so their root shall be as rottenness. You hear that? Their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. He's destroying you because they have cast away the law of the Most High power of army of angels of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble, that's like tumbleweeds. You take fire and throw it on some tumbleweeds, man, that's what he's looking at you as. And the flame consumeth the shaft, that's the part of the wheat that they cast away, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Most High power of hosts. They have cast away the law of the Most High power of army of angels. That's right on this earth, waiting on the commandment of the Most High. Angels are for vengeance, and despise the word of the Holy One of Israel. And we're cold-blooded people. Therefore is the anger. So you get no love out of this. Therefore is the anger of the Most High kindled against his people. And he has stretched forth his hand against them, and has smitten them, and their heels did tremble, and their carcasses, meaning their dead bodies, were torn in the midst of the streets, like they tore the prophets' bodies. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Right? What you gonna do when he come for you? And it's sad because a lot of these sad because you love so hard in the wrong perspective of what you should be doing, instead of correcting and saying what it is, whether they hear or forbear, because that's the love to show them what's right. And not just go along with whatever they're dealing with. That's off. Let's go to Psalm 78 and 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. You know? And you give no law to bring no Christmas tree in your house and celebrate no Christmas. The law is against this. Give ear, O my people. And my people are the 12 tribes of Israel. Matthew 2 and 6. To my law, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. Why? I will utter dark sayings of old. Why you gotta speak in parable? Because this ain't for everybody. That's why you can't really, eventually when you become mature enough to realize this is not for everybody, and be able to get your mind right to be able to try, and you can't save your daddy, your mama, your aunt, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, nobody. You got to try and save yourself. Everybody gonna meet the judgment seat of the Most High and the Mashiach side by themselves. All of us. You ain't going couple to couple. You ain't going with your woman. You ain't going with your man. You ain't going with your children. You gonna go by yourself. Every last one of us. That's how it is. That's why I said I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. Why you have? Let me show you why he speaking parable. Let me show you something right here. A lot of y'all think all you do is call on the name of little simple stuff like call on the name of Mashiach Yahushua, you're gonna be saved. That's it, man. Get out of here. You gotta have some work, man. You gotta put in some work for this, man. This ain't just gonna be handed to you because you reading the Bible, this, that, and the third. People been reading the Bible all their life, don't know what it's talking about. That's why you gotta know why he's speaking parable. Listen at this. He spoke in parable. He said, some fell by the wayside, some fell among thorns, some fell on stony ground, some fell among good ground. This is Mashiach Bashai speaking. So in verse 9 of Mark, the 4th chapter, he said, we're looking at why he spoke in parables, telling you right here. And he said unto them, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. Like y'all got ears out there, hear this. He said, and when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. So some had enough sense to ask, but it's so much pride now that I can see why the Most High going to just get rid of a lot of people because they don't want to know enough. Y'all don't care. They know enough. He said, hey, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. Right? And he said to them, let you know why he spoke in parables. Until you, since you asked, it is given to know the mystery, the secret of the kingdom of the Most High. Right? So the kingdom of the Most High is a mystery, is a secret. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. Like he said, you speak in parables, right? So why? That seeing they may see. You might see the words in this Bible and not perceive, not really perceive what it is that you see. And hearing, you might hear what we're saying. They may hear and not understand. Still don't understand. But now there's no excuse for us because you can just go back and rewind the tape, rewind the video, look at that part, write it out. You got 2 minutes. I mean, right now, it's too much that you have to be able to know. When I learned how to sit there and listen to someone and take notes, and they could repeat that again, no, you got to be on it. Take notes, dude, get it, writing, learn how to write fast. So you getting what they say? It's like when you go to university, you sit there and the professor say, read this, you read it, then you come back, go over it, give you a test on it. That's it. Sit there and lecture you, and then you give you a test. But when it comes out of the truth, it's different. No, ain't nothing doing the son, man. That's why he spoke in parables. He said, it's a mystery of the kingdom of the Most High, but unto them that are without, they don't want to know nothing. All these things done in parable. Why? That seeing they may see. That he don't want everybody to be saved and not perceive. And hearing they may hear and not understand. At least at any time in their life, he's talking about, they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven them. If your sins not forgiven you, people, what's going to happen to you? You finished, man. You'll be thrown in the lake of fire. That's why you don't want everybody to get this. It's not for everybody. Understand this. That's why we gotta appreciate the fact that whatever you're able to learn and desire more, to get more, or maybe you got enough to think you made it to the kingdom already. Some of this might be your kingdom right here. I don't know. Psalm 78 and 2. I'll open my mouth in a parable. So you won't understand it. You won't get it. You want to desire more. Much is required, much is given, much is required. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Most High. Are y'all doing that? Y'all done regress, y'all done digress, disannulled the Most High praise and saying all praises. Come on, something wrong with that picture. But you hear what it said? How you gonna teach the children to praise the Most High when you're saying all praises? He said, we will not hide them from their children, showing to the generations to come the praises of the Most High. Come on. The praises of the Most High, not all praises. To who? You don't leave that open for anybody to think that they can just praise their idol. No. We got the Most High power. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Come on now. He's our power. Everybody would love, like you say, he came to these other nations, they'd love to have the Most High for their power. But us, not us. Nope. Not us, not Israel. Israel gonna find a way not to select you, not to do the things that the Most High tell us to do. That's why he say he hated us. That's why he abhorred his own inheritance. He gave us to our enemies to this day. Here we are, 2025, still got to go over the fact that we should not be dealing with these pagan days and come back to and follow. We tell them, I'm telling them, you got 8 days, you can have a great time and celebrate. But no, they chose what? To follow the way of the heathen. Learn the way of the heathen, follow the way of the heathen. And it's all our families, man. It's sick, crazy, right? But what can I say? They love to have a soul. Like I said, they love lies. They trust in lying words. You hear what it say? Will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Most High. Well, I say all praise to the Most High. You said all praise to the Most High. You say that? Showing to the children all praises to the Most High. Praises of the Most High. Come on. And his strength and his wonderful works that he have done, man. But we always find a way not to praise him. Revelation 11:11. Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, 350 days, man, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, to us, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. That's going to happen, y'all. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. We're going to them clouds, man. Them chariots of the Most High. That's right, man. Y'all ready for this? What's he gonna do? Come for you, because we gotta look at, and if you are doing these things, you can repent. Go to 1 Kings 8th chapter. You can repent, because we all, have done wrong things and had to repent and still have to repent. Always repent. What if it's something that you thought about that was wrong? Still gonna be held accountable. So always ask the Most High to forgive us for our sins. And that's Chatayim. Chatayim. 1 Kings 8:47. It's a prayer that King Solomon prayed. Let's read let's start at 45. It says, if they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, right? Which I'm a repentance. And thou be angry with them, as we've been seeing throughout this lesson. The Most High been angry with us over and over and over again. Most High be angry with us and deliver them to the enemy, not to your friends, in captivity, slavery, and bondage, and deliver them to the enemy. These nations are our enemies, so that they carry them away captives into a land of the enemy, far or near. And that's where we at now, in captivity. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they go, They were carried captives, like over here to Americas, the Western Hemisphere, and wherever lands we are, you know, and repent, ask for forgiveness, and make supplication. That's humility and crying unto thee, unto the Most High. Thee is the Most High in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned. We have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness and doing the things that the heathen do in paganism and following Christmas. That's a sin. And have done perversely. We have committed wickedness. And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies. Hear that? That's what we had in the land of our enemies. Say whatever. We ain't running no White House. We ain't never. It tells you, matter of fact, I don't want to tell you, I want to show you. In Song of Three Holy Children, look what he said. In verse 9, it says, and thou didst deliver us, the Song of Three Holy Children, verse 9. And if you going on your app on your phone, it might be Azariah, Song of Azariah. It says, and thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king. So I don't care who is president or whoever ruled over us, they're always unjust king. And the most wicked in all the world. That's what the Bible says. You want to see it for yourself? There it is, right there. Because a lot of times people think we making this stuff up. And be like, we making this up. He also said in Ezekiel 7:24. You see that? Ezekiel 7:24. See, these heathen would not be ruling at all if we was in order with the Most High. We was out of order. So he said, going to put us in captivity. Look what he said. And our ancestors knew this. Ezekiel 7:24. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. And I will also make the pomp of the strong, the seats, and their holy places shall be defiled. Hear that? Through the heathen coming to us. That's why we just dealt with the Feast of Dedication. We had to get our temple back because it was defiled. Destruction coming. Like, what you think that is? That's woe. It's destruction coming. And they shall seek peace, and there shall be none, because he gonna send out enemy. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet. But the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. Come on. That's what he said he's gonna do. That's what happened, because he gave us to the hand of the worst of the heathen. And they possess our land, our possessions, everything, man. They're supposed to be ours. That's why going back to King Solomon's prayer, 1 Kings 8, verse 48. And so return unto thee, that thee is the Most High, with all their heart and with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, toward the east. And we here in America, wherever you at, you just facing Jerusalem. You point out, you face down Jerusalem. You above Jerusalem, you got to pray to the south. You below Jerusalem, you pray to the north. You on the other side of Jerusalem, you pray to the west. We on the east side, so we got to pray to the east, which thou gavest unto their fathers. I say that because we scatter among all nations, the four corners of the earth, the city which thou have chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication. You know, he said supplication twice. You praying, but you crying to the Most High in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people. That's the 12 tribes of Israel, y'all, that have sinned against thee, in all their transgressions, wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captives, that they may have compassion on them. But they be thy people, and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt, from the midst of the furnace of fire, furnace of iron, captivity, that thine eyes may be open unto the supplication of thy servant for the third time, and unto the supplication of thy people Israel for the fourth time, cry unto the Most High to hearken unto them in all that they call for unto thee. Thou didst separate them from among all the people. You hear that? So we ain't supposed to be mingled amongst these heathen nations doing what they do, like Christmas. He separated us from among the people of the earth to be thine inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou brought our fathers out of Egypt. Oh, my power. And here we are. Kill us. Isaiah 3 and 12. Isaiah 3 and 12. Think about you that's been here from the beginning. Who it was that was really saying, we're gonna do what we're gonna do what our mouths tell us to do. Who was it? Who was the women? Listen at this. Isaiah 3 and 12. We ain't gonna even follow what the man do. You see what he did to the men for allowing them women to do that. That's why you women have to understand a man has to be the head. And if you could do things to have him put to death. That's what just happened. That's what go back and look. That's what happened. It was burning incense and making cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Say we without our men. And the men didn't check them, so the Most High put them to death. Isaiah 3 and 12. As for my people, he said, children are their oppressors. This is what it say. And women rule over them. Hear that? And women rule over them. Oh, my people, they that lead thee, if a woman is ruling over you, she leading you. Call thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. That's why your man have to be in charge, man. And you women have to understand that. 1 Corinthians 11, in righteousness, though, not no wickedness, man. But women, y'all done been with men. Y'all know y'all been with men that's wicked, and y'all was following right along with them. Because that's the order of things. Look at the order. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is the Mashiach Yahushua. And the head of the woman is the man. You see that? Head of the woman is the man. And the head of Mashiach is the Most High. That's the order. Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, man, then woman. From woman to man, to a Mashiach Yahushua, to the Most High. But women think they surprised they man. They feel that we're on the same page. We're not on the same page. Man and woman ain't on the same page. Y'all be hollering whenever something happens, whoop, whatever. You should be able to handle that. We the same, y'all should be able to handle it. Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that. That's why we have to look at this for what it is. Zechariah 2 and 6. I'm going to go about 5 more minutes. Zechariah 5. Zechariah, the second chapter. Verse 6. Ho, ho. And then what Santa Claus says? And even Santa Claus, mention him. Look at Santa Claus, Santaclaus, right? And you got Santa Claus, you got Santa, you can move the letters, you got Satan. But they ain't gonna put it in your face, you figure it out. And you ain't able to figure it out because you're not analytical thinking, you just go with the flow. Because y'all a bunch of gophers, and y'all deal with robots and robotees, really, and spiritually discerned. You got Satan Claus. And the clauses, they have clauses, Satan clause, a clause of an eagle, tear your butt up, man. And also clauses and demand of how you have to, they put them clauses in there. You look at that little fine print down there. There be clauses, man, Satan clauses, you know what I mean? Of what you're supposed to be doing is that they put in there that you don't even realize. Say, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, said the Most High. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds in the four corners of the earth, of the heavens, said the Most High. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. Come on. Deliver ourselves who dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. Who the daughter of Babylon? How do y'all know how to define who the daughter of Babylon is? Anyone? They're not saying much. I don't see no texts. I don't see nothing. But Psalms 1 said, deliver ourselves from the daughter of Babylon, right? Psalm 137 and verse 7, it says, remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So that's the first time our temple was burned down by the Edomites, so-called white men. White men burned the temple down. That's in, because we looking at who the daughter of Babylon. It said, deliver ourselves from the daughter of Babylon, right? Is what they did. First Maccabees 4:45. That's what they did. Salakia. It's First Ezra, Salakia. First Ezra 4:45. Maccabees deal with the Greek Empire. That's what threw me off. Uh, First Ezra 4:45. Thou also have vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans, by the Babylonians, by the Ethiopians, by Nebuchadnezzar when we went into captivity for 70 years. You go back, you can see that we talked about this earlier. So now we're looking at who say we got to flee from the daughter of Babylon. Who's the daughter of Babylon? Let's find out. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. So they burnt down our temple, as we just read in First Ezra 4:45. O daughter of Babylon. So who was the daughter of Babylon? Verse 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom. The children of Edom, that's a biblical name for the Aboriginal, I say Caucasian, because everybody that look like they're so-called white are not necessarily Edomites. Because you got the seed of Gehazi that was cursed with, his whole lineage is going to be cursed with leprosy. So they look like Edomites too. They're not Edomites. They're Syrians. But you see here, the children of Edom are, verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as they always served us. You see? What goes around comes around. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he had done. So they're the ones perpetrated this Christmas, not us. I mean, we didn't come up with that. But here it is. I mean, with Jeremiah 44th chapter. So like I've been saying, Ezekiel was Jeremiah the 44th chapter that we was going over, that we went into initially. It's very important that we see this because we go back to Zechariah, the second chapter. Now that we know that the daughter of Babylon represents the Edomites, it says Zechariah 2:7. It said, deliver thyself, deliver yourself, O Zion. Who is Zion? Let's find out who Zion is. See, that's why I give y'all definitions. And when you know the definitions by the scriptures defining these words, then it makes it clear without a shadow of doubt, instead of going into the concordances and wherever you're going to go to find a definition of that's not in the Bible. When you go to the Bible, get the definition, you all right. You're going to be all right then, right? Who is Zion? Isaiah 51:16 defines Zion. You should write Zion, the definition. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and say unto Zion, this is the definition of Zion, thou art my people, right? So who's my people? How you define my people? Matthew 2 and 6. Matthew 2 and 6 defines my people. Matthew, the 2nd chapter, the 6th verse. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. See? So the my people are the Israelites. Every single time when you see my people, it's talking about the Israelites. We, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? Now let's go back to Zechariah. Now that we know that my people and Zion represent who? 12 tribes of Israel. Now when you see it, it says, Zechariah 2 and 7, say, deliver thyself, deliver yourself, O Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel, that we just defined, my people, Zion, thou art my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. Hear that? We dwelling with the daughter of Babylon, who are the Edomites. Remember, it tells you in Second Ezra 6 and 9. That's a period, that's a spirit. Wow, open up the Bible and go right to it. No, praise the Most High. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. We got next forever, but Esau had to be ruling at the end of the world of sin. That's what it's saying. So I'm gonna conclude. This I've been rolling 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours. I'm gonna conclude with just all the things that they do and following this pagan holiday of Christmas is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. But depends on where you at spiritually and where you want to be at to make sure that, if you are doing it, you stop doing it and repent. You got to ask for forgiveness because it's wrong. It's abomination. Look at Micah 4 and 1. But in the last days, it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains. We, the kingdom of Israel, gonna be established in the top of all kingdoms. And this, like you said, Jacob's it that follower. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob's that follower. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow into it. Are they doing that now? No. And many nations shall come. Are they doing this? And say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion. We just define Zion, the children of Israel. Zion, thou art my people. Zion, thou art my people. And my people are the 12 tribes of Israel. And the word of the Most High from Jerusalem, where we are. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, like way over here. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares. Hear that? All these ordinances that they have, they're going to beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into puny hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Most High of hosts armies have spoken it. For all people will walk every one of this in the name of his God, and will walk in the name of the Most High, our power, forever and ever and ever. In that day, said the Most High, will I assemble her that halted. That's us. We the 12 tribes of Israel. I will gather her that is driven out. We was driven out of our land. Remember, it says desolate, and her that have, and her that I have afflicted. That's what he told us in Hosea 5:15. I'm gonna go to my place till we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. And our affliction, we're gonna seek him early. He afflicted us. Because what we did against him. And I will make her that harder of remnant. Hear that? Remember, this ain't all of us. You're gonna make her that harder, we harder, a remnant. And her that was cast far, a strong nation. Yeah, and the Most High shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth, even forevermore. Say, verse 10 said, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, like a woman having contractions, having a baby. But now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, where we at right now. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Most High shall remember. He shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. You hear that? Right here in America. Now also, many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion, look upon the 12 tribes of Israel. Let her be defiled. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. You hear that? They don't know the thoughts of the Most High, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. So when you look at Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, it tells you when salvation come on this earth, what these other nations, especially Edomites and all the rest of them that's down joined with them, gonna say, they're gonna say, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we've gone through desert where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High and knowing of the way of the Most High, the Mashiach of the Shad, they're gonna say, we have not known it. That's what it said. But they know not the way, the thoughts of the Most High. Need to understand that his counsel. This is counsel right now. They don't understand what we said. They only want to go out. They don't want you to know about the Most High. Arise and thrust, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Most High, and their substance unto the power of the whole earth. I mean, Micah 5 and 15. He said, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. I mean, that's future prophecy. That's why we have to, it behooves you nations, as I have been seeing that some are adhering to this. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Jeremiah 12, 16, and 17. It shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, Most High the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, as they taught my people to swear by B-A-A-L. Who was B-A-A-L? You can't tell him that he don't know what he's talking about. Because y'all swearing about him right now. Was B-A-A-L? L-O-R-D. There it is right there. And that's their God that they swear by. And they put it in the Bible as L-O-R-D. That's why he said, you can't tell me that people not swearing by B-A-A-L. They ain't swearing by L-O-R-D. They put in the Bible, that's their God. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. If you diligently learn the ways of the Most High's people, what we teaching. But it's a condition. If it's a condition, they will not obey. Obey what? Diligently learn the ways of my people. They don't want to obey. He said, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. You know what he said? But if they will not obey, you don't obey, diligently learning the ways of the Most High's people, the 12 tribes of Israel. What we're teaching, especially coming back to what he just said, to swear by his name, the Most High liveth. Straight up. The only way to swear by the Most High's name is to do what he say do. follow his rules and regulations. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up that and destroy that nation, said the Most High. So we telling you not to follow the way of the heathen, even though you are a heathen, not follow Christmas, but learn the commandments of the Most High, the holy days of the Most High. You can read Leviticus 23rd chapter, tell you those are holy days of the Most High. And we got 4 days where we got the victory of our enemies too. Yeah, we said we're gonna follow like y'all follow 4th of July. So we have 4 days that's what we just went over, the Feast of Dedication. We got Purim, we got Day of Nicanor, Day of Simon. Those 4 days that we got the victory of our enemies that we said we're gonna honor, just like they honor 4th of July. We have those 4 days that we honor also. Like we just went through Feast of Dedication. If you wanna look at it for real, Marshall Shai, we just went over how he operated and followed it also. So that's what we got to look at, y'all. And you other nations, that's what y'all got to look at. You heathen nations, that's what y'all need to be looking at so that you can be able to be a part of the kingdom. Y'all want salvation, and you in salvation. You want to be a part of our kingdom, then you got to diligently learn what we're teaching. Because you think you're going to be in the kingdom and you're going to be able to do all the things y'all doing now in wickedness? No. He said, everybody going to be righteous. You're going to learn he coming to judge and make war in righteousness according to the laws of the Most High. Let nobody fool you. They got you set up to go straight to the damnation with them, the hellfire with them. That's what it's set up to be. I mean, because he coming to judge in righteousness, and you don't want to be part of this. But maybe you do. Revelation 20 and 10, and the devil, maybe this is where you want to be. And the devil that deceived them, they deceive everybody. That's why you got to legitimately learn the ways of the Most High's people. And our people got to learn the ways that we teaching also. Well, they're going to be right here too. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone with a beast and a false prophet. The false prophet is what you're dealing with in anyone that's trying to learn and dealing with this Bible. They're talking about, I'm going to say, anybody that's dealing with the Most High, called himself dealing with the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, and his law, statutes, commandments, which you're not keeping, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. You don't want to be there. That's why we here in these last days to show you a way to make it to the kingdom. But verse 15, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And that's your choice, man. That's the ultimate. If your name not written in the book of life, as it says, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So that's the ultimate, y'all. For our names be written in the book of life, that we can be able to see everlasting life. Without that, finish, be gone forever, never, 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 never. And I talked about, but I hope that this was edifying. I'm gonna continue. I have a lot more to go over, but I didn't cover. But I hope that was edifying. And like I say, Christmas is pagan. Like I said, it's nothing that we should be following. Like I said, we have 8 days you can follow: Feast of Dedication, Feast of Lights, Hanukkah. And with that, I say, Krum Most High, Krum Mashiach Yahushua, and Krum Yashuala. And Tawada for being here, and I'm out. Shalom.